She came through like a speaker frame. A gentle touch driving away the pain. In her embrace, by where I belong. A love that turned on like a timeless song. Now I'm convinced she's my guiding star, lighting up my path from near and far. A voice of reason in a chaotic storm. In her love I found my perfect form. That girl, she warms my soul more than she knows. So I never let go. No, I can't let her go. Can't let go of a good thing. Mama said don't let go of a good thing. So here's the ring, Mrs. Good Thing. Now I can't stop loving you, wanting you, being always around you. You want me so, you make my life whole. That's why when not around, I always feel down. But if you come next to me, you replace the lost energy. Must be us. That girl, she wants my soul. More than she knows. So I never let go. No, I can't let her go. Can't let go of a good thing. Mama said don't let go of a good thing. So here's the ring, Mrs. Good Thing. Yeah, yeah. My soul is yours, for you, girl, I adore. Your heart is mine, together we will fly. Oh, more than she knows. So I never let go. No, I can't let her go. Don't you let go of a good thing. Mama said don't let go of a good thing. So here's the ring, it's a good thing.
Oh, DJ, go on.
Oh, yeah. 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 The things that I see, the things that I have, I can feel the pain inside. Oh, inside. The shoes that I feel, the scars that me grow. As solid as I am, I'll never fall. You see me, I seen in me. A long time ago, I never fall. I stood 10 toes. Oh, yeah. 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 The things that I see, the things that I have, I can feel the pain inside. Oh, inside. The shoes that I feel, scars of me grow. As solid as I am, I'll never fall. Would you see in me? I seen in me. Long time ago, I never fall. I stood 10 toes. The things that I see, the things that I had, I can feel the pain inside, oh inside. The shoes that I feel, the scars of me grow. As solid as I am, I'll never fall. Would you see in me? I seen in me. Long time ago, I never fall. I stood 10 toes.
Gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
She got a dog, she got a dog, she got a dog. Bananas in that mall. Look like she kidnapped all that ass in that trunk. Hold up, let me make sure she full grown.
I got 5 on it. I can
fuck your bitch.
What?
Why you hating on me?
I can
check your bitch.
What?
No addition. You made the bed.
Let's get them likes up, y'all. We going back at it.
I'ma beat it like a bungle.
Beat it like a bungle.
Yeah, I'ma go ape shit.
Put that ass up the jungle.
Look at that ass. Look like a horse. She make a nigga wanna.
J Rock in the building. What up, bro? Amanda Lewis. Who was that? It's a remix.
No other day.
Ooh. Bananas in that monkey. I put bananas in that monkey. I put bananas in that monkey. I put bananas in that monkey. Yo. Yes, sir. Hickory dickory dock. The mouse ran up the clock. Yo, what's going on? What's going on? This day 2, y'all. This day 2. What up, Dream Team? Hold on, man. As soon as I get here, Lexington drop a 10-piece in a biscuit. Babylon has fallen. Now release Mr. Kelly. Come on, y'all. I ain't even had to come and put the disclaimer out. We got 1 already down. I need 9 more people to hit that super chat over here on YouTube. Over there on Rumble, I need y'all to hit that little flower pot bag. Let that join. Everywhere else, y'all just go ahead. If you want to hit the Cash App, you see it floating at the bottom, $ official Dana J. Come on. If y'all like the commentary, one thing. If you like the commentary, I need you to violate me. And when you violate me, just hit that like button. That's all you got to do. That's the only thing that's mandatory over here. Hit that like button. Go subscribe if you want. I really want you to. And then share me out. And tell all your peoples. Prima Donna in the building. Hold on. Queen Amanda Lewis. Who is that? I heard that name before, but I'm just saying. Ann Huff is at an appointment, but she's still listening. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to Ann Huff. What up, Kiva? I got everybody. EJ in the building. Jay Rizzy is in the building. Galatians is always in the building. LaMarcus is in the building. Oh my God, Lexington is definitely in the building. Gemini Dawn in the building. What up, Miss Hot Pink, baby? Hey, I'm calling out everybody that's over here on YouTube because that's where I'm at today. She worked for BET in the 90s. I figured that. Teresa Jones, what's up? What's up? So look, and we got a hot one today, y'all. And YouTube thought they was gonna do something. They thought they was slick. They thought they was gonna take me off the game. You can't take me out the game because I do exactly what I'm about to do now. I'm gonna come back today and drop some more. Every day, I'm gonna drop this motion, right? And every day when I drop this motion, I'm gonna add more and more. Every day, I'm gonna add more and more proof of what's going on. I'm gonna add more. Spitting Fire Lady was going off on Larry. Man, listen, Spitting Fire always going off on somebody. Once you hear that little thing come on, you hear that. And she be like, hey, Spitting Fire always going off on somebody. But hey, man, everybody's going off. Everybody got that right. But I'm taking it a step further. Hey, Faith, what's going on? I'm taking it a step further. And a step further I'm going is this right here. I don't just think Larry should be in jail for obstruction and witness tampering with a federal government witness. I don't think. Thank you, Laverne. I appreciate it. That's what I'm talking about. And Laverne with the 20 piece and the biscuit, she said, woo, keep being a real one. I can't do nothing else. I mean, somebody sent me a clip last night when people was talking about me, Niecy, Toy, in the middle of the night. And you know what I said? We all sleep comfortably. I'm going back to bed. I don't give a hell. Let people talk. Let people talk. I'm on another plane right now. I don't care what they say. Because as you're going to see today, they all came from me. Except for the one that was in the middle of the night talking. She always was Okov. And until I see Nia is always going to be Nia. And I'm going to leave it there. I know Nia when I hear. I don't care how many times you change the name. But I don't think Larry shall only be in jail. Now watch this. Y'all gonna say, Dana, you crazy. Because I had a friend, a brother, that left over here to go over there with them. And I think everybody that's on Okov should be in jail too. Everybody. Everybody that was at Team Truth should go too. Because they pushed out a narrative to help convict an innocent man. Now, is Robert innocent of everything? Hell no. Ain't nobody that's walking and breathing totally innocent. We all have fallen short. So I know somebody hit me today and said, yo, is Atmos going to get in trouble? Listen, if Atmos was behind the scenes helping Larry prosecute Robert, then Atmos need to go to jail too. I said it. If Atmos was behind the scenes helping Larry push the narrative for Robert to go to jail, Atmos need to go to jail too. There's no exempt. If my mama was behind the scenes helping Okov push the narrative that Robert need to go to jail, my mama need to go to jail. Gerald Griggs, a good friend of mine. I do believe Gerald Griggs need to sit in front and fiddle his thumbs because he helped push the narrative. As we go day by day, I'm a show more and more audio I mean, more and more video that's going to have y'all fucking puzzled. When I tell you that I have unleashed a dragon on my own channel in an impromptu video, everybody ran scramming. Everybody. Everybody. Listen, I'm not saying Atman's going to jail, but I'm saying if he was behind the scenes helping Larry, guess what? He need to go. Sid Ho need to go to jail. Sid Ho girlfriend. What is her name? And she be over on Panda's channel. Need to go to jail. I know it's April. Need to go to jail. If Levi was helping, Levi need to go to jail. If Angelina Walker Dobie was behind the scenes helping, she need to go to jail. I'm not stopping. Nobody is off limits. If DanaJay was behind the scenes helping Larry prosecute R. Kelly, make that make sense, then DanaJay need to go to jail. But my hand's so sweet and clean, boy, you can't get me with nothing like that. Cause there ain't no fresher than that's not me. I'm just so fresh and clean. So we about to drop this motion. And we about to drop some facts with it. But I think I'm gonna do it backwards today. I think I'm gonna go ahead and drop the fact receipt first. That's how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna drop the fact receipt first. And in the fact receipt, this is Sabana Veronenza. And Veronenza, hold on. This thing be acting crazy sometimes. See, I've been looking far and wide. And Sabana Veronenza says, I have traveled to around 35 countries and love to work with and among people from diverse backgrounds. I lived and worked in the Persian Gulf, worked on Carnival Cruise Lines, and have been living and working in the United States since 1993. Highlights of qualifications: have many years of top diversified experience, strong background in language translation, interpreting work, document review and analysis, quality assurance, and client relations. He speaks English, Telugu, Hindi, and Urdu. Result-oriented, with an ability to see any assignment to successful completion. I transcribe audio and video files. I transcribe conversations of inmates in federal prisons for the Bureau of Prisons. So I'm quite sure y'all know who this is that's giving his body of work, who I'm reading. This is the transcriber of the man that the government bribed to railroad R. Kelly. This is one of the people that's willing to come forth and talk. Professional experience, independent interpretation work. Traveled to Sydney, Australia for 1 day to interpret a speech at the Sydney Convention Center in September 2019. Interpreted a major human trafficking case involving a Telugu speaking couple in Chicago for the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of Illinois. In December 2022, helped interpret in a criminal trial involving a Telugu speaking software engineer for insider trading for the U.S. District Court for the Northern District of California. In September 2023, thank you, Justin, for the 5-piece. I seen it, brother. Justin shouting in the building with the 5-piece. In September 2023, interpreted in a case of defrauding for the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of North Carolina. This man is well traveled. Completed in July 2024, a 3-week 7th to July the 28th assignment for the State Department for their International Visitors Leadership Program, IVLP. Helped the State Department with this program 6 times prior to this. I interpret depositions and judicial matters for various and other states and the U.S. and travel for this purpose when required. I possess security clearance from the Department of Justice and regularly interpret and transcribe for the State Department, DHS, ICE, and DOJ. I'm sorry. I said DOG. Snoop Dogg. Independent translation work. Des Moines Hour, translation 2001 to present. Have worked independently during this period, handling assignments throughout the nation. Have worked for clients in medical, legal, and other areas, responsible for language translation, interpreting work, document translation and review, and other translation related functions. Shout out to Miss Darlene Williams for the 5-piece. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Mr. Lieber, what's up? Galatians, what's up? I know they watching my pocket. What up, Galatians? So this man is well traveled. Well traveled. And this is one of the many receipts that I will be dropping. You know what I mean? This is one of the many receipts. One of the many. You know what I mean? One of the many receipts. So with that being said, we gonna get into it. Y'all ready? I said, are you ready? Let's get into this motion. We reading the R. Kelly motion, Corey. Jump in. For all of y'all out there that didn't believe when I told you that R. Kelly was being framed, a lot of y'all sat back and said, no, R. Kelly's a pedophile. And I looked and I said, wow, a lot of these people believe what they heard others say. I'm lost. Because if Robert was a pedophile, it will be transcribed in court. And it wasn't. So why do people keep running with the fact that Robert is a pedophile? Let's get off that for a second. Let's read. So let me help some of you slow people. Okay? It say the only possible amyloidin is that he didn't apparently intend to traffic the tapes. He currently was horrendously negligent in how he kept them. As I remember, I think Lisa Van Allen said that she found them in, I guess, a backpack sitting on the floor. And so she just helped herself to them. And that started out a rather Keystone Cop kind of operation in which these tapes spread out through the country. And Kelly's minions spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and effort trying to get them back. They were obviously unable to do so. This was not prepubescent sex, child porn, which is a particular type. And there is, as I understand it, based upon the Dr. Dietz report, that Mr. Kelly is not a pedophile. But again, these tapes got out there, and that's the nature and circumstances of the offense. And it's horrendous. And everybody agrees with that. And it's deserving of very, very serious consequences to Mr. Kelly. I have a question. His videotape of him, his wife, and Lisa Van Allen got out there in the open. And he wanted to protect his wife. The same woman that turned her back on him. The same woman that green-lighted surviving R. Kelly. The same woman that turned around and made her daughter say hellacious stuff about her dad. And people believed it. Make this make sense. If R. Kelly was that horrendous of a person, why do Andrea Lee keep the last name Kelly? I will forever ask that question. If somebody abuses me, I don't want nothing to do with them. I don't want nothing that will even remind me of them. So the question is, what type of family do we have? Part 2 to that is R. Kelly. My life on the line. Jump in. Let's talk about it. So the emergency motion for temporary furlough comes now. Defendant Robert Sylvester Kelly, by and through his counsel, Bo B. Brindley, and hereby moves this honorable court for release to home detention on a temporary furlough from his custodial sentence. In support of his motion, Mr. Kelly provides as follows the introduction. Centuries ago in Rome, in ancient Rome, the poet Juvenal remarked, "Quis custodet eposis custodes." Who will guard the guardians? This searching philosophical inquiry now finds a real word instantation in the case before this court. Robert Kelly is a prisoner. His life depends on the oversight of literal guards and jailers who are entrusted with his safety. He has no choice in the matter. He puts his life in these people's hands because that is what the courts have ordered him to do. Yet, explicit evidence has now emerged to show that the very officials charged with protecting incarcerated inmates have solicited Mr. Kelly's murder. I'm going to say it again. The very officials charged with protecting incarcerated inmates have solicited Mr. Kelly's murder, all in an effort to prevent the uncovering of justices perpetrated by the Bureau of Prisons and Department of Justice officers, which Mr. Kelly and his attorneys are in process of exposing. Evidence has been obtained that prior to his 2 trials in federal court, his U.S. attorneys and Bureau of Prisons officials worked together to steal Mr. Kelly's attorney-client correspondence and his private communications while in custody. They then weaponized the information contained in this purloined correspondence to turn witnesses against Mr. Kelly and gain an unfair advantage against him at trial. In short, the government has used stolen attorney-client correspondence to make a case against Mr. Kelly in violation of the Due Process Clause of the United States Constitution. I'm going to pause for a second because this morning, some of my friends from Streets 94.5 talked about this, and they failed to they failed to list the real problem. Miss Shanika, and I know people that know her that's probably watching, Miss Shanika said, I don't think R. Kelly should be released because he did what he did. and his lawyers say his life is in danger. No. When you talk about that on the radio, you got to go deeper. Shorty defended Rob and said, "Nah, I think he should be home because it don't make sense." But nobody want to talk about the way this man was done just for them to get a conviction. If you are telling the truth, you don't need to do all that. And what you mean, Dana, by do all that? Sit back and listen, or sit back and watch. I'm about to drop the bomb. When that information began to be exposed by Mr. Kelly's attorneys, officials in the Bureau of Prisons solicited another inmate to kill him. When that information began to be exposed by Mr. Kelly's attorneys, officials in the Bureau of Prisons, not inmates, but officials and the Bureau of Prisons solicited another inmate to unalive him. The facts underlying this motion are as stunning as is the remedy that must be sought. The release of a convicted inmate whose life is threatened by the very persons charged with protecting him. And so this court must now come to grapple with the ancient Roman inquiry: who will guard the guardians? Who will hold them account? Who will hold them to account? Because in this moment, if no one does, a man will lose his life, and the injustices that motivate his destruction may never be revealed. Mr. Kelly therefore comes to this court with a fervent plea that it intervene to prevent that from happening. Let's dive into the factual background. Mr. Kelly is presently in custody serving a 30-year sentence for convictions in the Eastern District of New York and a 20-year, largely concurrent sentence for his convictions in the above captioned Northern District of Illinois case. Mr. Kelly is presently incarcerated at FCI Butner in North Carolina. It is uncontroversial to describe Mr. Kelly's cases as high profile. Everything that occurs in this case is heavily scrutinized in the media and on social media. For months, the undersigned's office has been engaged in an investigation into whether various Brady and Giglio violations took place in both of Mr. Kelly's criminal cases. A great deal of evidence has been uncovered, which indicates that Mr. Kelly's due process rights were indeed violated by the prosecution teams investigating him in both districts. The undersigned office continues to develop a motion to vacate Mr. Kelly's convictions on the basis of Brady and Giglio violations that have been uncovered since the trial and which were hidden from the defense prior to trial. The investigation into these violations is not yet complete. However, recent events compel the undersigned to disclose many of the facts that will underlie Mr. Kelly's upcoming motion. The only way to begin the narrative necessary to explain the current circumstances is to focus on one witness the government did not have against Mr. Kelly. At the time of his arrest on federal charges, the racketeering case against Robert Kelly in the Eastern District of New York hinged on the testimony of one critical witness, Azriel Clary. She was the central focus of the trial in New York. However, a fact that most people are unaware of is that Azriel Clary started out by refusing to cooperate with the federal government in any way. She remained committed to Robert Kelly and had nothing negative to say about him. To the contrary, she was adamant that there was nothing improper about her relationship with Mr. Kelly. The way the government influenced and coerced her to change her mind is at the heart of what we believe to be shocking Brady and Giglio violation. Pause. That's one of the charges that they gave Robert. Obstruction and coercion. But to the federal government, I have a question. How can you charge a man for obstruction and coercion when you're doing it yourself? That's like the blind leading the blind. You can't charge somebody for something that you're doing. Or is it that because you are the government, we supposed to just abide by it? But I got a question to every and anybody that will listen. How can the federal government bring charges against Robert Sylvester Kelly and nobody has ever seen the federal government before? Uh-oh. I have a right to face my accuser, right? So how can I face my accuser and I never seen the federal government before? Can somebody help me with that? How can you get sued? How can you get prosecuted by somebody that you never seen before? Food on the go. What's up, bro? Nobody have ever seen the federal government. And I'm putting it out there because if Diddy even, and y'all know how I feel about that, if Diddy even wanted to say something, Diddy can always jump up and say, I've never seen the federal government. How are y'all incarcerating me? I've never did nothing to nobody in the federal government. So how can you bring charges against me? You know what they're going to say? Don't you got a birth certificate? But what happens when you ask a person that and they say, no, I reclaim my inalienable rights. I don't go by that. Then court got to shut down. They're going to do one or two things. Let you go and tell you don't say nothing else, or they're going to bury you somewhere. Let's jump back into it. While Robert Kelly was being held in custody on federal charges in the glaring absence of any evidence from Azriel Clary, which the U.S. Attorney's Office sought and needed, a series of crimes were committed. These crimes were not committed by Robert Kelly either. They were not committed by anyone he associated with prior to his incarceration. They were committed by federal officers. Like all inmates, Mr. Kelly's phone calls and emails were monitored by prison officials. However, in this instance, a Bureau of Prisons officer named Tawana Ingram was not listening to or monitoring Mr. Kelly's recorded calls and emails. She was instead stealing them. Specifically, Ms. Ingram illegally accessed and stole a series of phone calls and emails regarding Mr. Kelly's relationship with a woman other than Azriel Clary. We all know who that woman was. It was Joy. Ms. Ingram was a special investigative services disciplinary officer who had no business dealing with any of Mr. Kelly's communications. She did not work at the facility at which Mr. Kelly was being housed and was not even supposed to have access to the system containing his emails and calls. Yet somehow she was allowed to gain access and allowed to steal Mr. Kelly's private communications, both emails and recorded telephone calls. There is an ongoing civil suit regarding her conduct pending right now before Honorable Judge Bucklow in the Northern District of Illinois. Armed with illicit access, Ingram stole emails and calls that were specifically inflammatory to Azriel Clary, and which would be likely to compel her to turn against Mr. Kelly. Ooh. All out of jealousy. These were private conversations to which Azriel was not privy to. She had no way to know the content of these conversations. Hence, they were targeted and stolen for the purpose of turning her against Robert Kelly and thereby helping the government make its case. Let's go here. She stole it and sent it to Tasha K. Here's my question. How did she know to send it to Tasha K? Tasha K did say that her and Angelo were like brothers and sisters. But the problem was, Tasha K even said in the beginning, she sent it to Larry McGee. Larry, well, let's not call him Larry unless we're reading him. Let's call him the Rat Master, the Rat King. And you're going to understand why I say that. The stolen communications included communications with his attorney at the time, which should have been protected under the attorney-client privilege. On its own, this is a shameful abuse of a position of trust by a federal prison official for the purpose of influencing the case against who? Mr. Kelly. But it became far more insidious than that. After Mr. Kelly's communications were stolen without his knowledge, these communications were provided to a cooperating government informant named who? Larry McGee. I'm going to put it down, flip it, and reverse it. I'm going to put it down, flip it, and reverse it. I said I'm going to put it down, flip it, and reverse it.
I'm gonna swing from the chandelier. From the chandelier.
After Mr. Kelly's communications were stolen without his knowledge, these communications were provided to a cooperating government informant named Larry McGee. The defense continues to develop evidence regarding Mr. McGee, who's the head of the internet group called Ocove, who have a following of people that's across different state lines. That's why I said they all need to be arrested, because this is truly a RICO against Mr. Kelly. And Mr. McGee is one of the front runners of the RICO. But there is a strong reason to believe that federal prosecutors in the Northern District of Illinois and the Eastern District of New York supplied Mr. McGee with access to stolen communications and enlisted him to meet with Azriel Clary, a person with whom he had a connection to and with, and used these stolen communications to influence her and coerce her into cooperation against Mr. Kelly. In social media videos, Mr. McGee has admitted that he has a video of Azriel Clary at his home. He has admitted spending hours coercing her to turn her against Robert Kelly by showing her Kelly's calls and emails. Immediately following this meeting, Azriel Clary went to MCC Chicago, where Mr. Kelly was housed. She participated in a social visit with him, and at this visit, she quoted to him the content of his private emails and conversations to which she would never had access. Pause right there for a second. Pause right there for a second. Pause right there for a second.
This stupid motherfucker, this stupid idiot, skank ass bitch, kills nation, malicious conspiracy. Like, man, we dealing with a bunch of motherfuckers, broke motherfuckers. We're gonna put the pressure on their ass. We're gonna fly, we're gonna talk to local police station, we're gonna find out who you is, we're gonna get the report and everything. I just told my girl, like, take the MX, man, sign up for all the programs, everything. Report all them pages, everything you see in these pages, like, report them, get them done, like, report the shit out of them. I'm gonna take, man, they got me out here, man. Got a big government out here on display, man, and posted the missus, man. I'm upstairs having to discuss shit. Got a nigga out here fucked up, man, posting the government all over. They found out who I am. They say they're gonna put me all over the internet. They're gonna expose me. Man, I just gotta take my L, man. Damn. You know what though? I'm gonna tell you something. This the first time I done took an L. It's the first L I done took. I'm shook.
Following program contains descriptions of domestic violence.
Then it had to come from the dirtiest nigga on the whole internet.
Viewer discretion is advised.
We're gonna see how this go. We're gonna see how it goes, see how it play out. You know what I mean? Go live from a private investigative firm, either Monday or Tuesday. I'ma actually do it, and I'ma film that shit. I'ma be there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, that's how we gonna handle this shit.
The following program is intended for mature audiences.
Larry.
Did he hit you?
The following program contains descriptions of domestic violence and sexual
closed doors when this lady was on the
involving
phone
minors.
talking to federal agents, and you
discretion
won't even
is
put out the
advised.
truth about that. When she was on the phone talking about them gay niggas, why you ain't put that out there? That's what she was talking about in the phone call.
Part 2.
You know what I mean? When I sent the fucking feds to fuck you up,
Cook County and state court.
why you ain't talk about that? You know what I mean? Did R. Kelly sleep with you?
The following
Did he
program
hit you?
contains descriptions of domestic violence and sexual
What
abuse,
is his
some
obsession
involving minors. Viewer
with
discretion is
homosexuality?
advised.
I can recall him putting a
Previously
half-naked
on part 3.
picture of R. Kelly.
What I did was found out
On
when your
his
mother
channel.
told me she talked to you and y'all.
He had a picture of R. Kelly in his underwear. And my thing is, as it's always been, Azriel Clary is a homosexual too. And so is her brother.
Okay. Enough of that. I don't know that to be factual. Let's go back on here. So it says, in social media videos, Mr. McGee has admitted that he has video of Azriel Clary at his home. He has admitted spending hours coercing her to turn her against Robert Kelly by showing her Kelly's calls and emails. Immediately following this meeting, Azriel Clary went to the MCC Chicago, where Mr. Kelly was housed. She participated in a social visit with him, and at this visit, she quoted to him that the content of his private emails and conversations to which she had never had access to. Mr. Kelly instantly knew she had been given his communications, but had no idea how that could be possible. It made no sense at that time. Mr. Kelly believes and intends to prove that Larry McGee was supplied with stolen communications. He was sent to meet with Azriel Clary and influence her with these stolen communications, all while acting as an informant for the government and communicating with federal prosecutors in New York and Chicago. Immediately after her visit with Robert Kelly, Clary contacted federal agents to turn against Robert Kelly. So many people are going to say that's a lie. However, when playing with Dana, you got to understand that Dana don't deal with lies. I got 2 videos to show you. Check this out.
Your truth gonna come out. It's gonna really fuck you up, bro. Because you think you're smarter than everybody. You thought you were smarter than the system. You went in there, now that woman put your truth out. I don't got nothing to do with that. You ain't even mad with me. You mad with your motherfucking self. Nobody told you to go do what you did. You did it, bro. I hate all this shit y'all try to say about you. Can say whatever you want about me. I'm sorry. You can say whatever you want. I don't give a fuck, bro.
I just gave her all of the information. I got the actual people on the phone. She made the decisions. She made the decisions on her own, and it was was not easy. It was days and days and days of crime. It was hours and hours and hours of footage. It was indictments. It was phone calls. It was a lot of different things. And it was a lot of information that she just did not know. But let me tell you this, though you might have showed all of that, I think what really made, what solidified what you showed her was his absence. Because it might have been a completely different story if he was out. I don't think so. Not after what I showed her. Like, not how she took it. It's not just me. It's not just me that dealt with her. It's my girl. It's my mom. It's my daughter. What I'm trying to say is that no matter how much I showed her that the things that he was telling her were lies, and she went on national TV and did what she did, you don't think that had nothing to do with her realizing that, fuck this motherfucker. I can't believe. I think all of that had something to do with it, but I think what solidified her actions was his absence. Everything came into play, but what I think finalized it and gave her the courage and the strength to go on is because there were other people in her ear and he wasn't there to defend it. Had he been there to defend it, I don't think it would have turned out the same way.
Agreed.
He was in jail. She was vulnerable. And I'm not saying what you did was wrong. I'm not saying what you did was right, but she was vulnerable. Anybody could have came in and slid in her ear and told her anything because the nigga not there.
And now you want to try to throw me in it. I'm not in it, bro. And don't drag me in your shit. You in this all by yourself, homie. Big lie. You did it all. You flew back and forward to Chicago. You got everybody. You saved all the girls. You didn't do shit. And how did my daughter leave your house to go to Chicago? Oh, you paid for the ticket. The same week that I gave you money for her stand, right? Am I correct? Okay, yeah, I thought so. Nigga, I paid for my daughter to go to, after she switched, we was going to LA. She wanted to go to Chicago. She pumped her up to try to go get Jordan. So if you're gonna tell the truth. Don't fucking lie, you piece of shit.
We did our job. We brought the information to the public. Surviving R. Kelly went off. We kept that shit going. We got bus drivers. We got police officers. We got assistants. We got friends. We got people to lie. We got the storage. We got motherfucking video, audio. You have seen Azriel at my house. You have seen parents at my house.
Because all you're doing is digging a deeper hole for yourself, homie. I'm good. I'm away from that. My daughter's finished her shit, and now because of you, she may be pulled back into some shit. Because of you. Running your fucking mouth. Do whatever you gotta do, homie. But you don't want to play with me and test me with my daughter.
Well, my God. The bromance erupted quickly. But before we go back into the paperwork, sit back and relax. I got something else to show you. Boom. Let's go.
The following program contains descriptions of domestic violence and sexual abuse, some involving minors. Viewer discretion is advised. Previously on part 3.
What I did was found out when your mother told me she talked to you and y'all argued or whatever, and I would call you. And you would have that same attitude you and her left with towards me.
Because I know your wife confides in you and I know she's going to explain it to you.
But she's not going to give me everything, evidently.
So as you can see, the elephant still needs to be addressed. For people to just say that, oh, I was just kidnapped or I was tied up, I couldn't leave, I couldn't do this. It's like, what about the good times? I know there were good times.
Oh my God, it smelled like fish grease.
I bet. Why would you like your face? It could make you break out.
Well, because I'm a nigger and I'm from the hood, and these are the things we do when they're
you know, in desperate times. Okay, so I'm kind of used to that. You guys are not, and it's okay. You know, it's okay.
If a female don't have a relationship with their father, she's gonna go out and look for a father when it comes to a man.
R. Kelly has money. I target anybody. I was a mother.
I have no choice but to jump into whatever.
Shay saying often heard and often said to a
older and has kids older than her and all that. That's not something that people choose when they have resources and when they have agency and when they have education and when they know where they're going.
You could take it from R. Kelly. Take the money away, take the fame. Let's give you a 48-year-old experienced man. Everybody in the world got these hoods, got these neighborhoods, and know at least one dude that turned out young girls in their neighborhood. Rather we turned our head against it, rather we acknowledged it, rather we was okay with it, whatever part they played. I never was okay with it. I never played with guys that dealt with a bunch of little kids. This wasn't in our city background. That wasn't in my area background. Let me say that. You know, you're not gonna run around and just have your way with children. That's not gonna happen, man. That's unethical. And in the prison system, it definitely ain't ethical.
what's understood need not be explained. An old cliche saying often heard and often said to a people that understand that language. But what about those who don't? What about those who go by the book, the dictionary? Ethical. Relating to moral principles or the branch of knowledge dealing with these. Understand that the definition of ethical is accurate, but also understand that the definition can become personalized to fit the mentality of those who use it. Azriel at one time used it, but there was something to make her change.
Truthfully, do I feel sad for him? Yes, I do. Do I feel sorry for him? No, I don't. And that's just the truth. He's been doing this since 1990, over and over and over again. Once he won his 2008 trial, that was almost like a slap in the face for him to continue to still be fucking Sean while the trial was going on, had her living in a garage, continued to be with her all those years. Now, America doesn't know that. I know that. Now America knows that based off the documentary, but I'm just saying, it's a slap in the face to continue to do something that you've already been, you know, accused of. And I feel like it's a slap in the face to America. Like, if I've already been accused of something, there is no way in hell that I'm ever going to put myself in the position for you to have R. Kelly and little or girl or McDonald's in the same sentence. Period. I'm sorry. And the fact that he just played with his life like that and took that big of a gamble and was just that so, felt like that inevitable to the point where he felt like he was untouchable, then I feel like whatever happens to him, he definitely do deserve it because he had more than enough time. He had 30 years to change his ways and he did not. He did not.
What makes you, why do you think he?
Because no girl has ever, in the moment of it happening, said no, or I don't want to, or this is not right. Because this is what he'll do. He'll say, oh, I have a girl I want you to meet. You'll be like, okay. And then when you go in there, the girl is already in the bedroom fucking naked. And then you just have no choice but to jump into whatever it is. Because now you're like, okay, I don't want to embarrass him. I don't want to be like, this is not something I want to do. Then he's going to be upset because he came to me and said, look, I have this girl who wants to meet you. You know, so you're almost put in the position where it's like, you can't really stop it. You just can't stop it because he just throws you in that position without even giving you a head warning of what you're about to run into. He just puts you in that position.
What if you say no?
If you say no, he's probably gonna curse you out, and then you're probably still gonna leave. He's probably still gonna give it that person, and then he's probably gonna beat you or spank you or chastise you however he can to show you never to embarrass him like that again. And that's what he's done before.
So he'll just, he beat on you.
What?
He would just beat on you.
Basically, if you did something wrong, if you came out of this room without knocking, that's a spanking. If you go downstairs...
What's a spanking?
Like he's gonna beat you.
Like a beat you, like a slap you on the ass?
Yeah, like a slap you on the ass, but slap you on the ass 10 times with all of his might until you have whelps on your ass. That's a spanking. And depending on how severe it is, Like, for getting to walk out, that may be like 3 or 4 spankings. You're gonna cry, but after about 10 minutes, you're gonna be back normal. Like, if you look at another man, or if you're at the mall and, you know, a man helps you and you don't tell him, that's about 10 spankings. Keeping secrets, that's about 15, 20 spankings. Over and over and over and over again. And then you just become like, okay, I'm not gonna tell this girl anything because I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to get a spanking or anything like that. Now, it depends. Like I said, every girl is different. Like me, I allowed that, but after so long, like when I got 19, 20, I started telling him, like, look, this is not something that, you know, I'm comfortable with. We're gonna have to, you know, handle, like, when we have conflicts a different way, because it's just not something that I'm comfortable with anymore. We talk about kids, we talk about marriage. That gotta stop, one way or the other. Now, other women, they just weren't vocal. They were more insecure about themselves. So yes, Neek, she would take real beatings. Like, he would slap her in her face, punch her in her face, hit her with shoes, all kinds of stuff. Like, seriously. Yes?
When we first started this production, Azriel was still in the corner of R. Kelly. Her attitude was more on the defensive side. She was reluctant to bash Kelly, yet she was willing to question other accusers. So the biggest question to us was, what made her change? What was her breaking point? The final straw to break the camel's back, so to speak. Azriel has set up an interview with us to be done in Chicago at the DoubleTree Hotel. Based on past experiences with her, that didn't seem strange or ring any alarms because she'd also taped prior in Florida and in Las Vegas. Her reason for coming to Chicago was to film and record several songs for a project her and her father were working on independent from this production. Azriel's sole direction at that time was to get a deal in entertainment. She had just gotten out of a relationship she felt smothered her talent, and with her newfound freedom and independence, the timing was right. Our production team was well aware of what she wished to accomplish and seen no conflict of interest, but suddenly that changed dramatically. While waiting at the DoubleTree to film our scheduled interview, Azriel suddenly called our production team to change the interview's time. According to her, she was getting her hair done and she was running behind schedule. She stated she needed an additional 45 minutes. To our dismay, we reluctantly agreed and began to wait. Within 30 minutes of her first calling, Azriel called again. But this time, her whereabouts had suddenly changed. She was at Trump Tower and had gone there to pick up some clothes. This was surprising to even us, because news reports had surfaced that said Azriel had moved out. It was also believed that Kelly's apartment had been lost due to insufficient funds. Up until that point, we realized those were lies. We'd been duped just as well as the public. With that thought process, we rushed to Trump Tower to see and to find our truth. What we ended up getting was more than we were knowingly looking for. Upon our arrival, we sat parked outside of Trump, and Azriel called and we told her we were downstairs. She asked that we get out and come up because there was a woman downstairs threatening her safety. We immediately got out and headed upstairs. Before we could get to the elevator, we seen a disruptive female questioning where we were going and who we were. Unbeknownst to us at that time, the woman in question was named Kimberly, and we had no knowledge of her role and didn't know her actual position. What we soon found out was she was there on behalf of Joycelyn, and her assumed role was to assist her removing as well as protecting R. Kelly's belongings. By the time we'd gotten upstairs, Kimberly also arrived and proceeded to exchange words with Azriel, as well as film us while we were filming.
Girl, these people got me on video. Let me get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, it's fine. Yeah, unless they're gonna say so for Mr. Kelly. Thank you. Next time, if they do come, if she comes without Joycelyn, she cannot get up.
Joycelyn's with me.
Okay, she's not here presently.
She is.
No, she's not. If Joycelyn isn't here presently, do not let her up, or I will be calling the police.
And I'm
because
gonna
they only
call
have
the police
to
on you
spare.
too.
Okay, thank you.
And he can report off.
What happened next was all spontaneous and unplanned. All of the events were also captured on cell phones because our professional equipment was set up back at the DoubleTree, waiting to film the scheduled interview that never happened. What you are about to see is all spontaneous and real.
Hi, I'm here with one of the authorized users. She's coming in to take some items
in the house.
of the unit. You're not allowed to program or record any of this activity.
In the house?
In the house, yes. We're building security. You're not allowed.
Who are you talking to like
She's
that?
Authorized.
She can be authorized, but for her protection, and she can come in, but for her protection in this house, we're filming.
Can you not film me, please?
Don't come in.
Sir.
Well, come in. For her protection,
Who are you?
I am a friend of hers, and I'm here for her safety.
Okay, but you shouldn't be recording.
I'm not recording in Trump. I'm recording inside of the house.
Exactly.
Maybe, I don't know. They need to probably call the police. Well, ladies, come and get what you need.
Yeah.
He's recording. Now let them come in. Let them come take what they want to take.
I can't go on you and take any.
Several minutes had passed, and after discussing what could and could not be filmed, Joycelyn showed up to remove Kelly's personal belongings. To be specific, his Grammys. It was at this point Azriel had the inevitable confrontation. What fueled it was Kimberly and Joycelyn suddenly coming in to remove several items. Be mindful. As far as we all knew, nobody knew about the scheduling, and there was only one way the questioned coincidence could have happened. Someone made Kimberly and Joycelyn aware of Azriel's presence.
Come on, put these Grammys on the thing right now. Put the Grammys on there. I can help you. I don't think you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
They don't want them.
Hurry up, girl. I just wanted to get the Grammys and get all his stuff out of here. Stuff that he has earned. He does not deserve this. It's not right. Wouldn't allow this. Thank you. Can we have some more help in here? I just gotta get the tall. Okay.
Yeah, we're not allowed to.
You're not recording, Kimberly. You gotta record. Joy. She's not gonna come inside because she don't want to be recorded her damn self. That's fine. I can get recorded. I'm already a public figure and you are as well. Okay, that's fine. You're gonna be a public figure.
Well, why y'all arguing instead of just doing what y'all gotta do? Like, this is ridiculous.
What do you guys hold this door? I just want to get She's arguing because she's going to go to jail. No, let him. You know you're a liar. No, I'm not a liar. You are a liar. I never dealt with you at that age, so. Girl, bye. Girl, you were in college. I was still in college when I was not dealing with you. Yes, you were. You were in college at fucking 19. Get her away from me. You kick her out. Same year I met him, and I was 17. This is not your house. This is not your house. That's exactly why he told you to leave when I came. Okay. You're back to being second.
Yeah, both of them does.
Good luck.
We can give authorization. Resident does. They have authorization.
Yeah, both of them. They're both on there. They're both on there.
Hey, tell Rob should have been told you that you're going to jail. Why he didn't tell you? He tell you everything else. Okay, I need help to get these. No, I just need to get these 2 Grammys up here.
Yeah, we can't go in.
Okay, well I'm gonna get the chair. Can you hold this? Yeah. Actually, fuck all this. Fuck all this. Yeah, I don't want no beef, you know, it is what it is. So I just rather live my life. I'm good. It is what it is, honey. Ugh, it's what it is. I'll be good. I live my life. And you guys, you're disrespecting his home. I don't know who the hell you guys are. You need to get the fuck out of here. Guys, we are live with Joycelyn. Oh, we are live. We're live. Wow. We're live. We are live. Here, take everything out. What's yours? What's yours? not getting that. You got these grown men in his household. You know he don't accept that. Oh, he don't like that. He don't like men. You just told on your own boyfriend. Why would you like grown ass men in here? That's disrespectful, Zelle. You know that's wrong. You know that's wrong. This is his house. You disrespectful. You're so evil. I'm not evil. You're evil. I need to protect myself. You need to fucking see that shit. Joy, you were sleeping on me. That's a minor. You were sleeping with me as a minor. You were sleeping with me as a fucking minor.
Okay. Stop.
Ladies.
Call the police. You got
Ladies.
You got a situation up here.
Let go.
Yeah, because you're going to jail. You were sleeping with me as a minor.
Okay.
Lying bitch. With me as a minor. Liar. You're sleeping with me as a minor. You were sleeping with me, bitch. I know how to fight. I'm pressing charges too. She's crazy. I'm pressing charges too. Kimberly, I'm going to stop for you. You're going to jail, mama. You're going to jail, mama. Jail. Where my phone at? Where my phone?
Come on.
I know how to fight.
Come on, guys.
Bitch,
You have to go. Let her go. Chuck. Let her go. You're not going to get her.
You crazy. You just know how to fight.
Hey. Come on.
Put your ass in jail for
inside, please.
You're going to jail for assault. You cannot be that stupid bitch.
Why?
Call my phone, Shabazz.
Just let
Call my phone before they go downstairs.
Go.
Call my phone.
It's still just
8414.
Yeah, pretty much.
And this is her number. Kimberly, she never touched me, but she was definitely aiding, like, and abiding, so I went to press charges. If it's possible. Joy's number is 773. And Kimberly's number is...
What's Kimberly's name?
I just know that her first name is Kimberly, that's it. And her number is 773.
You sure you don't need an ambulance or anything?
Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah. Just to get this checked out. Because
You want one to come?
Yeah.
You want one to come? Okay.
Yeah. Her number is 773.
Yeah.
251.
What did you say she hit you with?
Her phone. So when she hit
Like
me,
a cell phone?
Yeah, her phone. She just hit it like that, and that's what caused this.
What do you call it?
Do you want to go to the hospital with us? Do you have to be able to get like a federal agent?
That I don't know. That I don't know. Okay. You're gonna have to talk to CPD for that.
Up until that incident, Azriel had remained loyal to R. Kelly. She'd gone against her parents, her friends, the media, and whoever else would oppose a love some called cult-like, while others called it brainwash. Whatever was said, there was a time when Azriel listened with deaf ears.
And this is what everything.
What up, Gabby?
One of her most memorable times of defiance in supporting and defending R. Kelly
What up,
was
Candy
when
Candy?
federal agents raided the home she slept in with him. She steadfastly remained uncooperative as agents ransacked and destroyed personal items as well as Kelly memorabilia.
Bedroom, so like bedroom, his room, closet.
It was that day she learned what being an accused criminal felt like. Accused of the worst kind of crime, being a pedophile.
Bedroom, my closet.
Still, Azriel had remained strong, faithful, and loyal.
And that's what it's looking like.
But after that day's ordeal, Azriel was a woman fed up. And for R. Kelly, she would become a real problem. Perhaps one of his biggest problems from her would be when she revealed questionable secrets.
I already done put it on and everything. Look.
You got it out already?
You can open it. Go ahead.
Open this up. Azriel.
Yes.
Now, what was that mask for?
He said that this mask was to basically for him to go out more with us without being noticed, and that we'd be able to go out to like dinners and clubs and all kinds of stuff without him being noticed. And that was his purpose of ordering that mask.
Do you believe it?
Do you believe it?
A mask, designed to be a disguise for what authorities would argue is really a means of escape. Escaping the life of R. Kelly, a man accused of sexual misconduct with charges serious enough to make any man flee. But others would argue its need to protect an innocence that required being somewhat invisible in a world where everyone assumed guilt. In addition to all of that, there were other idiosyncrasies and quirks only seen by those closest to him. For example, Kelly had a love for McDonald's that some would call obsessive. Was this something that was an abnormal trait in his character? Or was it some sort of quirk that often comes with brilliance? A sort of imbalance to balance the blessings of being one of the best in his field. A sort of OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, so to speak. That disorder would be uncovered when Azriel showed one of his prized possessions, a model of McDonald's. Look at the detail. Real swinging doors, food on the counter, actual photos of hamburgers hanging on the wall, along with lifelike looking seats. One would have to wonder, was this normal? Or was it another obsession prized and owned, similar to what his accusers alleged? It would be these type of questions and thoughts to cast doubt on guilt or innocence. Either way, with what would appear to be an overwhelming, insurmountable mountain of thought-provoking evidence.
Let's get back to it. But I'll say this. The mask was for his next tour. When he went out on tour, he would have his ideal joint was to have different people dressed like him. And he be amongst everybody and nobody knew about it. That's what the mask was for. But as a result of this conduct, Larry McGee was rewarded with a cooperation agreement from the government and an incredibly light sentence of 18 months. His sentencing transcript was redacted so no one would know what he did or how he obtained the material to influence Azriel Clary. However, What is certain is that the only avenue to the reduced sentence with which he was rewarded was by way of cooperation. McGee was so brazen that he admitted on video on social media posts that he flipped witnesses against Mr. Kelly. He admitted that he got people to lie about Mr. Kelly. He did it. And government agents knew that he did it. They directed him to do it. They then hid their illicit conduct behind a sealed sentencing transcript to which Mr. Kelly and his defense team has been denied access. I got a question to ask. If they was denied access, right? I'm gonna ask you a question. Who do you think was operational in the payment to make sure that then R. Kelly defense team was denied access? Just so they can come out and create a conversion or to create a disturbance just to try to get another defense team. See, now that I'm deep diving into this, I'm going to deep dive and bring it to you guys. Ask yourself this question. Who had a problem with the R. Kelly Defense Fund? Who had a problem with the dollar for the king? I remember a conversation that Will Edie called me and said he was talking to R. Kelly's personal attorney and R. Kelly's personal best friend. And they were saying that I was stealing from the R. Kelly Defense Fund. So I asked how? How is that even possible? And I told him, like, you can go ask Doug. That's nowhere near possible. But when you sit back and think about it, the R. Kelly Defense Fund, aka the Dollar for the King, by hearsay of people wanting to donate, drove a certain person crazy behind the scenes. I ain't gonna say no names just yet, but can you tell me who that person is that went crazy about this behind the scenes? Let's go. What is even more worse is that Mr. McGee did not stop with Azriel Clary. Larry McGee arranged a meeting in California with both Azriel Clary and Rashona Landfair, both of the star witnesses in R. Kelly trial from New York and Chicago. This is definitely obstruction. This is definitely coercion. So Larry McGee arranged a meeting in California with both Azriel and Rashona Landfair, the principal witness against Mr. Kelly in his Chicago case. Landfair, too, had never before cooperated against Robert Kelly, despite significant efforts to get her to do so. But at the direction of federal agents and prosecutors, McGee brought Miss Landfair together with Miss Clary. He facilitated their ability to connect, communicate, and collude after first influencing Clary with Kelly's stolen communications. Following that conversation, Miss Clary and Miss Landfair were the central witnesses in 2 federal prosecutions. Additionally, throughout the California trip to meet with Mr. McGee and Clary, Landfair was in continuing text conversation with a U.S. attorney in the Northern District of Illinois named Angel Crew. Y'all remember, Larry came out first and said, and Rashona Landfair is testifying. And remember, I came out and said, she's not. But what I didn't know is that they had Angel Crew in their back pocket and that Larry was coercing Rashona with Angel Crew. Angel Crew, after the case, left the Chicago district and went somewhere else. Totally vanished. Didn't give an interview, didn't say nothing, didn't say bye, didn't say none of that. But what is obvious from all of this is that when government witnesses have been allowed to collude with each other and have been influenced by cooperating informants and stolen communications, shout out to Hollywood Next, shout out to Prima Donna, that is, shout out to Toy, that is, at the very least, Giglio material, which should have been disclosed to the defense to be potentially used on cross-examination. But this information about stolen communications and cooperating witnesses, Larry McGee was kept from the defense. The investigation of Larry McGee and Giglio violations that his conduct creates provides the factual backdrop for this motion. But it is only the tip of the iceberg. Mr. Kelly is now aware of what Mr. McGee has done. Hold on. If Mr. Kelly is now aware of what Mr. McGee has done, he also got to know that Levi is good friends with Mr. McGee. See how this work? See how this work? So now that Levi has said that he talked to his cousin, and Levi has said that Mr. McGee and his cousin had talked. That's what Levi said. I said that's a lie. But now we understand that somebody was lying. Because now Mr. Kelly is now aware of what McGee has done. The defense is actively investigating what Mr. McGee has done, and the defense knows that at least one former Special Investigations Unit officer was involved in this plot to steal Mr. Kelly's communications and influence his case. The defense is presently developing evidence regarding these events. I wonder where they can get this information from. I wonder who has everything on a hard drive to crack the case. A copy of Mr. McGee's redacted sentencing transcript is attached to this motion, Exhibit A. With all of that under investigation by the defense team, defense counsel learned that Mr. Kelly had received cryptic communications from a person who he believed to be his former cellmate at the MCC in Chicago. This man is Kishnan Madagamandi. Madagamandi was Mr. Kelly's cellmate, both before he was transferred to New York to face trial there, and again after he came back to MCC to face trial in Chicago months later. Having a consistent cellmate following a lengthy departure from MCC is very unusual. The reason for that has since become apparent. Mr. Madagami ultimately requested a visit from attorneys for Mr. Kelly. One of the undersigned associates, Edward McDavid, met with Kashan Madagamadi at MCC Chicago to determine precisely what it was that Mr. Madagamadi wanted to communicate. In the meeting, Mr. Madagamadi admitted that in exchange for the possibility of a reduced sentence, he agreed to steal Mr. Kelly's written correspondence and provide it to prison officials who would then give it to the United States attorneys handling the investigation against Mr. Kelly. Pause right there. Now we're going to get into stealing of R. Kelly's mail. Right? So Madagami was debriefed by AUSA Angel Crew and agreed to provide cooperation. This cooperation came in the form of stealing correspondence from Mr. Kelly and providing it to the government. AUSA Crew was also the person to whom the stolen correspondence was ultimately provided. Mr. Madagami would routinely take Mr. Kelly's mail while Kelly was at a visit or somewhere else in the facility. In particular, he made a point of stealing Mr. Kelly's legal mail that was written to his lawyers. These were letters that were marked legal by mail by Mr. Kelly. This was the intentional theft of attorney-client correspondence, which violated Mr. Kelly's constitutional rights and gave the government unauthorized access to his strategy and to confidential facts to which they were not entitled. The stolen mail was then handed off to Special Investigations Officer like Luke Selby, who copied it and gave it back and gave back the original for Mr. Maganomy to return to the cell such that Mr. Kelly would never know it was gone. A copy of the stolen correspondence was ultimately provided to AUSA Cruel, who was sharing it with AUSA Elizabeth Geddes, the prosecutor in charge of the New York prosecution. Pause for a minute. With that being said, Luke Selby was also the inside source. Now remember, I broke all this down when it happened. Remember Luke Selby, and I kept saying Officer Selby. Remember, Luke Selby was the one that was stealing Rob's mail and giving it to the PI and to Keith. And they was reading it. Well, Keith wasn't, but the PI was reading it across the airwaves. And if you notice, certain bloggers' mail was distributed to certain bloggers that they didn't like. If you notice, the PI read my letter. Just Jazz read somebody else's letter. So with that being said, Luke Selby was also the one that gave Rob first letters when he ever went to jail. Because somehow or another, it had to be Keith that brought them letters from the storage to give to Rob. And then Mr. Magani stole it and gave it to Selby. Selby and them gave it back to Keith and gave it to the PI, which they gave it to Choke No Joke to come out here and read these so-called R. Kelly letters that Choke No Joke added to, or that Keith or the PI added to. I told you, I'll be the one to crack this whole puzzle. I'll be the one to solve it. Because now we got to go by what only makes sense. Choke No Joke is a felon. So he can't go into a federal court. No, I'm sorry. He can't go into a federal jail for a visit. So when he was shown himself coming out of a federal jail with some letters and said, yo, I got to talk about R. Kelly. At that point, I knew it was some bullshit in the game. And with the bull crap being in the game, you got to understand this. When I attacked the letters from Choke No Joke, the PI wife called Keith to attack me. If Keith didn't have nothing to do with the money scheme, why would Keith attack me? And I supposed to have been cool and close with him. Could it have been that I was just in the way of stopping their money bag? Or could it have been something more sinister? Is that why they wanted the R. Kelly Defense Fund stopped? Because as Don say, both can't afford to go down. If one go down, and the operation against R. Kelly will be cool. That's what Don said. And a lot of us missed it. I talked about it, but I didn't deep dive into it. With that being said, is money that potent to make you destroy a childhood friend? I'm going to say it again. Is that money that potent to make you destroy a childhood friend? So the defense fund wasn't stopped because of something illegal. It was stopped out of jealousy, out of greed. And why are we talking about the defense fund? I only promoted it. Levi called me with a name for it called the R. Kelly Defense Fund, $1 for the King. I took it to Doug with Levi on the phone. We ran with it. We called Doug back in a week. I walked Doug how to set it up. And after that, it was history. So it bothers me when I hear people go after the R. Kelly Defense Fund and say that I stole, and the people that was, and a person that was on the phone sits back and don't say nothing. Unlike me, if I know that I was on a call and somebody saying something about somebody, I come out and correct it. So I think it's only right that since me and Levi started the town halls, that me and Levi in the town hall. And I think it's only right that myself, Levi, and Sharon Winbush do a town hall for the people. And we discuss facts versus fiction. And we put it all out there for everybody to see. I say we discuss fact versus fiction. And we put it all out there for everybody to see, starting from day one. Because it's some information that need to come out. Because when I said it, people told me I was joking. So I guess the only person that can do it is the people that was there or the people that it came to. Now, I'm going to put the thing in a thing. Levi, you was mad when blocking them didn't come out against Daboski and Hollywood Next and all them. So now the same situation is now. Because a lot of them said that you was behind the scenes trying to have me locked up. For what? I don't know. But I think it's only right, just like you told Block, just like I told Block, that you come out, Levi, and put the truth out against these people that lied and that tried to get, and that's trying to get me and you to go at each other. Facts. That means you got to tell the truth about Larry and Angelo. You got to tell the truth about DanaJay and you, correspondents. You got to tell the truth about everything. Just like I got to tell the truth. Just like Sharon Winbush got to tell the truth. Let's put it all out there. It's only fair. It's only fair. Too many people have been led astray and too much bullshit has been going on. And I think in this town hall, I'm going to title it A Revisit to R. Kelly. And I'm going to open the floor for everybody that has been there from day one. See, I don't believe in playing silly games. I don't believe playing silly games. Because this is serious. When R. Kelly got locked up, I've been said fuck Oak Cove and fuck Larry. I mainly said fuck Larry. And then people ran with it. Oh no, Dana and Larry breaking up this and that. No. A lot of you motherfuckers were phony. Because the same people that sat back and said, oh, Dana ain't for R. Kelly because he speak with Larry. A lot of y'all dick eating Larry right now and supporting Larry and his family and calling him brother. Levi did not do the flyers. Block did the flyers. Levi don't know how to do flyers. So at the end of the day, I think it should be one big town hall. Just like y'all came together to do a kumbaya with Block there to come and take his bow. I think we should do a town hall with everybody, whether you like them or not. Because I'm going to be honest, a lot of them so-called bootleg ass R. Kelly motherfuckers were fake and phony, and I don't like none of them motherfuckers. And Dana said it. So I'm just putting it out there on YouTube now, because I put it out there on Rumble last night. And then I'm going to triple down and say this. If I attacked you defending somebody I was cool with at that time, I meant that shit. If I'm not cool with that person no more and there's no more beefing and none of that, remember this one caption. I did it with a pure heart and great intent. And if you was part of my family that I call family, I protected you too. Even when you stabbed me in the back on Choke No Joke channel. You know who I'm talking to, boy. So while we at it, the stolen correspondence included information about Mr. Kelly's relationship with another woman, which was to be kept secret from Azriel Clary, as it would create a serious jealousy problem in Clary's relationship with Kelly. No one besides Mr. Kelly and his attorney had access to that information. Following the theft of that particular correspondence, Mr. Madagamy reports that Miss Clary came to the visiting room to see Mr. Kelly and confronted him with information that was included in the attorney-client correspondence that Mr. Madagamy stole and gave to the government. During Mr. Kelly's trial in New York, prosecutors advised his attorneys that they had just been made aware of an investigation into a theft of some of Mr. Kelly's communications. The prosecutor said the investigation was ongoing and they had no other information to provide. They contended to have no knowledge of who had stolen the communications and what was done with them. When Mr. Kelly asked to have time to investigate to see if this theft could influence the case against him, prosecutors claimed they had no other information to provide. None of that was true, though. None of that was true. In reality, at the time, federal prosecutors in New York claimed a lack of knowledge about the investigation of stolen communications. The truth was that a search warrant for Tawana Ingram's home and electronic devices had already been executed, Exhibit B. The application for that warrant identified undeniable evidence that she stole Mr. Kelly's communications. After that, she then left. She left after that. She left the BOP. The search of her residence confirmed it. Information about the sale of the stolen material and use of that evidence by Larry McGee was well known to the U.S. Attorney's Office. Pause that for a second. Pause that. The search of her residence confirmed it. Information about the sale of the stolen material and use of that evidence by Larry McGee was well known by the U.S. Attorney's Office. All of that information was in possession of federal prosecutors who denied having it. Now watch this. I'm glad the bloggers like myself that continued hammering the BOP and Officer A, I'm glad that we continue talking about it. And without me shining a light on these people by shouting their names out because their names ain't important and neither are they, those people that came out and said, I don't know why R. Kelly keep going at the BOP. That's stupid. That's stupid. Y'all should walk away from them channels. I said it. Y'all should walk away from them channels. Because they are the cancer to the R. Kelly case. They are the cancer to R. Kelly getting free again. They are the underlying ops. So when people start sending me their stuff and I look into it, the only thing I hear is, don't send me that shit. But all of that information was in the possession of the federal prosecutors who denied having it. Boom. All of that information was in possession of federal prosecutors who denied having it. Also in their possession was the attorney-client mail stolen by Mr. Modagamandi, which was used to influence witnesses against Mr. Kelly. This too was hidden from Mr. Kelly and his lawyers. Consequently, Mr. Kelly lacked the ability to attack the central witness against him based on a jealous bias that was intentionally generated through the use of communications stolen by a federal officer and trafficked to a cooperating informant by federal prosecutors and agents, and legal mail stolen by a cellmate and trafficked to prison officers who gave it to federal prosecutors. Stop for a second. Have anybody stopped and wondered why Canick was chosen to represent R. Kelly? Have anybody just sat and wondered why Canick was chosen to represent R. Kelly? Now I'm about to give you some inside shit. Canick was controlled by some folks. And I'll say this, Doug couldn't be controlled. So Doug was a problem because he was connected to me. Which means the imposters of R. Kelly made it so R. Kelly would not win his trial. No, you got to go bigger than that, Willie. Because the PI was sent in. So who had the power to send the PI? I'm going to ask you again. Who had the power to make powerful connections? I'm going to make you think. What man had the influence to have R. Kelly change people around that didn't know a damn thing about the case versus people who knew about the case? Judah, stop guessing and think. Stop guessing and think. Judah, stop guessing and think. And you already know because me and you talked about it. And everybody's saying Jay-Z. No, it's local. It's local. Prima hit the nail on the head. You got to understand, it's the enemy within. Who paid off everybody that R. Kelly didn't know about the payoffs? who Don was talking about. If one go down, it's cool. But if both go down, the operation fucked up. When you sit back and look at it, you got to look at ye who controls the money controls the power. And when you have the power and the money, you have the respect. Boom, 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 boom. Y'all remember that? The key to life. Have y'all thought about that? The key to life. Listen, go back to Sharon Wimbush. Who was she talking about being the icy man? I'm going to ask this question. Why would somebody blow up a car and then go to a friend of R. Kelly's house? These are questions that we all missed. These are questions that we all miss. Ask yourself this question: why was I so hated? What is it about me that made me so hated when it came to the R. Kelly case? I couldn't be brought. I'm genuine. I'm going to pop my shit and I'm going to tell it like it is. And that's what they couldn't stand. They sent many agents against me. But Neo wouldn't fall. You can look at this as the Matrix. You can look at this as the Matrix. They even, listen, when people got to team up against you and they don't really like each other, that shows you the power that you have. So me going back and forth as an oxymoron with stupid motherfuckers. I will not give them that power again. So after Madagamandi provided this information in the presence of a certified Telugu interpreter, who I just read the paperwork to, or for, Mr. McDavid then visited Mr. Madagamandi a second time. This occurred on March 11th, 2025. At this meeting, Mr. McDavid and the Telugu interpreter discussed with Mr. Madagamandi the execution of a written statement summarizing some of the information that was provided at their prior meeting. Mr. Madagamandi ultimately signed a statement, which was also executed by the certified interpreter to demonstrate that it was fully and accurately translated for Mr. Madagamandi prior to its execution. A copy of that signed statement will be attached to this file in Exhibit C, along with the resume of the certified interpreter, Exhibit D. In that written statement, Madagamandi again admitted the theft of Mr. Kelly's attorney-client correspondence. The transfer of that stolen correspondence to an SIS officer, Officer Luke Selby, at MCC, and the ultimate provision of that stolen correspondence to a USA crew, Mr. Madagamandi also indicated that prosecutors in his case asked him why he was being visited by attorneys from the undersigned office even before Mr. McDavid obtained his signed statement. Now, pause that for a second. I'm going to say this. Whose shadow did we see at the U-Haul storage? That was done. But check it. Who also remained in the shadows everywhere? Who? The questions that I have, Toy, is who was well protected? And when you mention the name, you will get attacked from all angles. Mama Mary on it. Mama Mary on it. So I'm going to say this. And I'm going to keep it real. And when people jump out there talking about, oh, we covering trials and we the only ones that cover trial, let's keep it real. If myself and Hollywood Next didn't jump out there and give you real boots on the ground, you wouldn't see people doing it, or you wouldn't see bloggers doing it now at the Diddy trial. So I can pat my back. I can pat Hollywood back. And I can say, yo, let's keep it real. We were the trailblazers for this shit. We jumped out there and gave you play-by-play commentary, whether we had press passes or not. And we had people up there trying. We had people up there spectating, but couldn't nobody bring it the way we did it. Then you had Prima Donna, Sky Zone, shutting it down on the internet. And Prima Donna's favorite words was, I ain't walking the street with none of you janky ass niggas. I still be thinking about that to the day. And then Alicia came behind her and popped off with it. So let's keep it real. Yep. Yep. Y'all put it out there. So at the point this signed statement was obtained, the undersigned office had in its possession a signed admission from an insider who confessed his role in a conspiracy to violate the constitutional rights of Mr. Kelly and by his witness against him through the use of stolen privileged information. This conspiracy involved the Bureau of Prisons and was apparently orchestrated by the U.S. Attorney's Office. By the U.S. Attorney's Office. So you mean to tell me that DanaJay wasn't lying after all? Y'all better not go and say that. Them people gonna have a fit. Because when DanaJay said the law breaking the law, everybody was like, oh my God, he don't know what he's talking about. But now look, everything I've said 4 years ago, you see it right here now. Word for word, play by play. Then it says, there's no room left to speculate about some way that the U.S. Attorney's Office did not know about the corrupt conduct of these cooperating persons. By his own admission, they directed Mr. Madagamandi to do the same kind of thing that Tawana Ingram did when she stole private emails and calls made and sent by Mr. Kelly. Special investigations officers and the Bureau of Prisons were the ones handling the stolen correspondence in both instances. Ingram's theft has been documented and is undisputed. Pause. For the people that say, well, the government don't know. R. Kelly lawyers don't know they talking about because her stuff has not been documented. We don't know for sure if that's true. We don't know. So therefore, we can't really say that. Listen, you talking to the receipt man. There you go. In the words of a favorite, in the words of my favorite two rappers from the Dream Team.
From Birmingham, Alabama, to Memphis, Tennessee. You forever got a friend in me. I go by CT.
I'm just saying.
You should talk your shit's naive.
Listen what she said. Hold, Leisha. Calm down, Leisha. Calm down. I don't need you and CT popping y'all shit right now. Hold on, calm down. Because we got to read this stuff now. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Whew. Sometimes I got to put them back on the leash because they get ready to go. God damn. Woo. That CT and Alicia, woo, I got to woo. Got to hold that back sometimes. So it says, in the matter of the search of the HP desktop computer bearing serial number T2UA8480JG51506, further described in attachment A. I, Mac Los, a special agent of the Department of Justice of the Inspector General, request a search warrant and state under penalty of perjury that I have reason to believe that on the following property or premises, see attachment A, located in the Northern District of Illinois, there is now concealed. The basis for the search under Fed R. Crim P 41C is evidence and instrumentalities. The search is related to a violation of Code Section Title 18, United States Code Section 1030A2B, of offense description, unauthorized access of computer, thereby obtaining information from the Federal Bureau of Prisons. You have it here. But tomorrow I will read all of that. Tomorrow I'll read all that. Back to this lecture in hand. So it says, of course, when a cooperating person is influencing and communicating with potential witnesses with the government's knowledge and at their direction, it is the absolute duty of the government to disclose the cooperator's conduct to the defense and permit the defense to use this information about government directed influence of witnesses for cross-examination of the witnesses who were biased and influenced. When stolen correspondence is being shown to potential witnesses as a means of biasing them against the defendant, that has to be disclosed so the defense can confront the witness with that information or possibly get the witness's testimony excluded. Yet, what happened here is that both McGee's and Madagamondi's involvement was hidden rather than disclosed. McGee's influence over the witnesses was denied rather than acknowledged. In a letter to his attorney in the Chicago case, the government claimed no knowledge of Larry McGee. Furthermore, no disclosure regarding the thefts committed at the government's behest by Mr. Madagamondi ever occurred either. Unfortunately for the government, McGee's disclosures on social media exposed his conduct after the fact. Mr. Madagamondi's recent admissions prove that the government has intentionally violated the rights of Mr. Kelly and illicitly tainted witnesses against him. Mr. Madagamondi has now admitted that he stole legal communications at the direction of the prosecutors handling Mr. Kelly's cases in exchange for promises of help on his own case. The government hid all this truth beneath pages of blacked out redactions in Mr. McGee's sentencing transcript and behind the undisclosed behavior of secret cooperating witnesses, Kashan Madagamondi. I got a question. Where is Oak Cove? I need to speak to them. I want to know the truth and Would you be willing to stand for Larry? That's all I want to know. Robert Keller, where you at? Atmos, where you at? Keep, where you at? Ty, where you at? Diva, where you at? Fat Boy, where you at? Tune, where you at? I'm just saying. I'm just trying to figure out some stuff. I'm just trying to figure out some stuff. Good night, Grandma Jenna. I'm just trying to figure out. Are y'all willing to stand behind your boy? Even the little retarded dude in Bolingbrook, he was cool with the Rat King for a minute. I just gotta ask a question. Mocha Dirt, are you willing to stand behind Larry Lies? Hold on, I got one better. Javante Cunningham, where you at? Javante Cunningham, where you at? Where you at? Didn't you get on Surviving R. Kelly and say, I slept with R. Kelly? I seen him in Aaliyah. Yo. Check it out. I knew I can bring him out. I knew I can bring him out. And bring him out, bring him out. That's before I knew all the involvement. And guess what? I did eat steaks with him. And all of y'all bitches got mad because I had steaks with the nigga. But y'all all on his nuts now, and I don't even fuck with the nigga. So what that say about you, bitches? Make it make sense. And while you at it, aren't you one of the gatekeepers of Chicago? Don't let me expose all of you motherfuckers. I got a payout from Keith. I'm that one that'll hit your account under my own name. I don't gotta make a fake page, boy. Oh, I'm not a part of anyone and Def not from Chicago. You Def Nona? Oh, I don't know you. Okay. I give you that. I give you that. And you right. You're an avatar. So can you come as who you are? Can you come as yourself? Because I don't talk to avatars. See, what you got to realize is this right here. I plays no games. And I have no cut cards. The one thing a person can ever do to me is stab me in my back when I genuinely had your back. Oh, you don't give a fuck. Oh, but you surely over here, though. Make sense. And I don't give a fuck. But you surely over here. So I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Sometimes you just. Let's go. I love for you to come as you. You don't got to subscribe at all. Just be who you are. Come as who you are. Shabazz in the building. And one thing about me, I don't need you to subscribe to me. Your subscription don't mean shit to me. I'm going to be me 24/7. So instead of you talking, why don't you come as who you are? Holler at me. Let's talk. Until then, understand this. When I went to Vegas, I went to Vegas to film on my radio. I decided to go to Larry's sister house where his mama and a whole family was at. I never been to his personal house. So guess what? You don't got to subscribe to me. But I popped my collar because you gave me a view. Thank you so much, son. You're going to understand how the rules of engagement go. I'm not here to play with you. So I'm going to spank your little ass and tell you to get the fuck on. At that being said, just 4 days after McDavid obtained the signed statement from Mr. Madagamondi, including these admissions, Mr. Kelly was contacted by a prison official at Ware FCI Butner. The official in question advised Mr. Kelly that he got a call. But he got a call. And that they, meaning the government, knew that his lawyers in Chicago had been meeting with a witness in jail. And that this witness had provided information to the lawyers. The official then advised Mr. Kelly that he was in danger and that Mr. Kelly needed to be careful. What? The official then advised Mr. Kelly that he was in danger and that Mr. Kelly needed to be careful. The BOP official intimated that Mr. Kelly was not safe in Bureau of Prisons custody. The BOP official further advised that Mr. Kelly should avoid the mess hall. This is particularly poignant conversation because Mr. Madagamondi's statement implicated a special investigations officer presently working in the Bureau of Prisons. Mr. Kelly is now in a very reasonable fear of harm because the people who may wish to keep quiet the information that has been the information that has just been disclosed are prosecutors and jailers. The very persons who have the ability to influence the inmates with which he is housed and the guards who might choose to look the other way. What is even more troubling is that Mr. Kelly has been attacked by an inmate before. While housed at MCC Chicago, a federal inmate approached the MCC counselor and announced a plan to physically attack Robert Kelly. The counselor did nothing to stop it. Instead, he permitted the man to be released in an area where Mr. Kelly was housed. This man was able to gain access to Mr. Kelly, violently attack him while he was sleeping, strike him in the head, and savagely assault him. In the wake of the assault, this inmate wrote a letter saying he was put up to this attack by federal officials. No investigation followed. No information was provided to the defense. In the wake of this troubling dialogue with a prison official, On April 11th, 2025, an inmate incarcerated with Mr. Kelly approached him and disclosed that he was sent to FCI Butner by BOP officials who directed him to murder Mr. Kelly. The inmate's name is Michael Glenn Stein. He is a member of the Aryan Brotherhood gang. He has been in Bureau of Prisons custody since 1982. With one brief interruption generated by his escape. While incarcerated, he rose to the position of commissioner of the Aryan Brotherhood. He has signed a declaration setting forth a long history of assaults and murders that he has ordered and participated in at the direction of the Bureau of Prisons officials, Exhibit E. Inmates who pose problems for Bureau of Prisons staff and or inmates with whom staff members were engaged in illegal businesses were attacked and or killed by members of the Aryan Brotherhood, the AB. As commissioner of the AB, Mr. Stein directed members of the AB to commit these acts. In exchange, he and other AB members received special privileges, including no cell searches and the ability to traffic narcotics within the prison without interference. Mr. Stein indicated that a prison official who has overseen multiple BOP facilities solicited his participation in multiple killings and assaults. This official's name is R. Childress. Mr. Stein had many interactions with Childress while incarcerated at the ADX Florence Supermax facility. Childress has ordered murders and beatings that have been carried out by Mr. Stein and those to whom he gave directions to. Mr. Stein is prepared to testify regarding these murders in order to provide a foundational backdrop for what happened when Childress approached him about Mr. Kelly. On or about February of 2023, Stein was housed in the special housing unit at USP Tucson. Without any warning, he was approached for an unexpected official visit. No Bureau of Prisons guard were present. Instead, Mr. Childress directly approached him. Warden Gutierrez and Associate Warden Stengel were with him. They took him out of his cell and brought him to an office area in the special housing unit, which is the SHU. Being moved without any guards is unprecedented, but it was done in this instance. Once in the office, Childress did all the talking. He advised Stein that he was aware of his terminal cancer diagnosis. He said that he knew Stein had only a matter of months to live. And he said he had a plan that would allow Stein to live out the last of those months as a free man. Childress advised Stein that he was being sent to FCI Butner. He further advised that there is an inmate at Butner who poses a threat to the Bureau of Prisons and to the government, a person whose high-priced lawyers were going to expose damaging information that would harm high-ranking BOP officers and other officials. Childress told Stein that he needed him, Stein, to eliminate the problem. Childress asked Stein if he was familiar with the musical artist R. Kelly. Stein only knew of Kelly from the news. Childress told Stein that Kelly is a rapist. He told Stein that Kelly raped little white girls. He told Stein Kelly was a scum. And he told Stein that Kelly was someone that the AB would want gone. Childress told Stein that he would be sent to FCI Butner. He said Stein would go to the medical center first and would be eventually moved to Kelly's unit. There, Childress indicated that Stein should kill or unalive R. Kelly. Childress told Stein he would be charged for the murder, but the evidence would be mishandled. There would be no conviction. He further told Stein that he would be transferred following the unaliving of R. Kelly, and on the way, Stein would be permitted to escape just as he did when he first escaped from BOP custody. Childress told Stein that he could live out the last of his days as a free man as long as he did as he was told. Stein agreed to his proposal. Gutierrez and Stengel were present for this conversation. Following the conversation, Stein was taken back to his cell in the SHU. Within 2 weeks of meeting with Childress, Stein was transferred to FCI Butner. As a general matter, BOP transfers almost never happen that quickly. After arriving at Butner, Stein was not on Kelly's unit. He was ultimately taken to the medical center, just like Childress said. Stein was at the medical center between October the 17th, 2023 and March of 2025. While at the medical center, Stein was approached by an official in a suit. He does not know his name. This official told Stein that he knew his diagnosis. He knew there was no treatment available. He told Stein, "You need to do what you came here for." Shortly after that visit, Stein was moved to R. Kelly's unit. He arrived on the unit in March of 2025. After arriving on the unit, Stein found Mr. Kelly. He followed him. He watched him. He considered how to carry out his unaliving. He was prepared to carry out the execution. But in the moment when Stein got near Mr. Kelly, he made a different choice. Now tell me there's not a God somewhere. But in the moment when Stein got near Mr. Kelly, he made a different choice. He told him the truth. Stein told Kelly that he was sent to unalive him. Look how God works. He told him how and by who. He told Mr. Kelly that his life was absolutely in what danger? As a dying man with a long history of murder and violence in his past, Stein decided not to carry out his order. Nah, you ain't decide. God intervened. Mama Joanne, looking from above, made sure nothing happened to our baby. Instead, he decided to take this opportunity to expose Childress and the BOP for the decades of murder and violence that they have foisted upon the inmate populace while facing no consequences whatsoever. Jesus Christ. Mr. Stein is prepared to take a polygraph examination. He is prepared to testify before this court. He is prepared to provide the names of other witnesses who can corroborate his account of the violence that the AB has carried out at the direction of Childress and other BOP. Other BOP officers, I'm sorry. As of the writing of this motion, other AB members are now present in Mr. Kelly's unit. Another BOP officer at FCI Butner named Lieutenant Teague has approached Mr. Stein on multiple occasions to remind him that he must do what he was sent to do. On June the 6th, which was just 5 days ago. On June the 6th, 2025, the defense learned that a second member of the Aryan Brotherhood, who was housed at FCI Butner, had just been approached by Lieutenant Teague and directed to carry out the execution of Mr. Kelly and Mr. Stein. This man's name is David Keith Harris. The possibility of poison being mixed into the food at the chow hall and in the commissary as a means of achieving these executions was discussed by Harris. Was discussed with Harris by Lieutenant Teague. This means that at least two avowed white supremacists and members of the Aryan Brotherhood have been approached by BOP officers and directed to take Mr. Kelly's life. Wow. The one who failed to do so has now had his own life threatened. All of this is being done at the direction of Bureau of Prisons officers whose duty is to keep safe the inmates under their supervision. Both Stein and Harris have agreed to take polygraph examinations and testify to these facts whenever called. Time is now of the essence. It is with these breathtaking facts in mind that Mr. Kelly asked this court for an extraordinary legal remedy, his release from Bureau of Prisons custody. Now, I have a question for you. If people, and listen to the way I'm wording this, if people that were supposed to have R. Kelly best interests at heart stood up for R. Kelly, do you think that he will be in this position? But for the love of money is the root to all evil. I'm going to say it again. For the love of money is the root to all evil. So the threat against Mr. Kelly is of a constitutional and exponential magnitude, and drastic relief is warranted. Mr. Kelly's continued incarceration while he knows his life is in jeopardy constitutes cruel and unusual punishment under the 8th Amendment of the United States Constitution. Moreover, the fact that he is being targeted for seeking redress for constitutional violations committed by the government during the course of his prosecutions contravenes protections under the First and 6th Amendments to the Constitution. Mr. Kelly faces an extraordinary threat, and extraordinary relief is warranted. Pause. It's only 4 of y'all that know my dream that I had 5 years ago. That's on my live. The other 4 is not on the live. I did not dream this 5 years ago when I talked about the bright silver ball. The bright silver ball now we see is food that Mr. Kelly was trying to consume. See, I'm not going to tell you my dream because I get emotional about it. But my question is, why do God deal with me in dreams like that? In the movie Ricochet, the Aryan Brotherhood was mentioned in the movie. In fact, they helped the hitman Blake escape from prison. I still haven't seen that movie Ricochet. Can somebody send me a link to that to my email? Because I want to watch it. So it says, implicit in every criminal's sentence is that it cannot be imposed in an unconstitutional manner. Hence, a sentence that is factually valid requires that the sentence not be imposed in a manner that would constitute cruel and unusual punishment. U.S. Constitution Amendment 8. Similarly, a sentence may not be imposed in a way that unconstitutionally deprives an inmate of his First Amendment right to petition the government for the redress of grievances. Darby versus Illinois case law. The threat against Mr. Kelly Life's contravenes these constitutional guarantees implicit in his sentence. Continued custody while he knows that he is in heightened danger and that he will not be adequately protected by BOP officers constitute cruel and unusual punishment in violation of the 8th Amendment. The 8th Amendment's cruel and unusual punishment clause imposes upon prisons officials the duty to take reasonable measures to guarantee the safety of the inmates. Brown versus Budd's case law, also Farmer versus Brennan case law. In particular, this duty requires prison officials to protect prisoners from violence at the hands of other prisoners. Farmer case law again. Certainly, the duty includes protection from violence organized or orchestrated at the behest of the government officials. An Eighth Amendment violation may be established by demonstrating that the prison officials were aware of a substantial risk of serious injury to the inmate, but nevertheless failed to take appropriate steps to protect him from a known danger. Weiss versus Cooley case law. Payne for Hicks versus Churchill case law. The prison official who spoke to Mr. Kelly specifically warned him that he was at a heightened risk of danger and that he could not protect him. Mr. Stein indicated that he was directed by BOP officials to carry out Mr. Kelly's assassination. Mr. Harris has indicated the same thing. A threat can rise to the level of cruel and unusual punishment. Dobie versus Illinois case law. Hughes versus Ferris case law. Threats of grave violence can constitute cruel and unusual punishment under the Eighth Amendment. Mental torture is not an oxymoron and has been held or assumed in a number of prisoner cases to be actionable as cruel and unusual punishment. Thomas versus Fairley case law. Dobie case law, offering the example of falsely informing a prisoner that he has been sentenced to death. Although Mr. Kelly is intensely fearful after the conversation with the prison official and subsequent confirmation that his life is in danger, the test is an objective one. The test for what constitutes cruel and unusual punishment is an objective one. Dobie case law. It is not the actual fear of the victim, but what a reasonable victim would fear. ID Citing Farmer versus Brennan case law, then Hudson versus McMillan case law, then Collins versus Seaman case law. Jesus. There can be no doubt that fear is the reasonable response to an inmate's learning that he is at a heightened risk of danger and that prison officials tasked with protecting him cannot or will not do so. Indeed, it would be unreasonable not to be fearful under such circumstances. This is particularly true when the threat is linked to the inmate's efforts to expose constitutional violations and wrongdoings committed and covered up by the BOP and U.S. Attorney's Office, USAO. More so when another inmate indicates that he was directed by prison officials to unalive the inmate. Not being fearful under these circumstances would be patently unreasonable. This arises another constitutional issue. The fear of retaliation for exercising activity protected under the First Amendment. Y'all go ahead and violate me and hit that like button, man, please. Thank you so much in advance. The conversation regarding Mr. Kelly's danger was directly linked to his efforts to petition the government for redress of Brady, Giglio, and Sixth Amendment violations. The BOP official specifically informed Mr. Kelly that they knew that his counsel met with the guy at the MCC Chicago just days after the undersigned associate obtained a signed statement from Mr. Madagamandi describing aspects of his cooperation against Mr. Kelly. That information was specifically linked to Mr. Kelly's danger and the officials' inability to protect him. Thus, the danger to Mr. Kelly was specifically linked to his efforts to petition the government for redress of the constitutional violations, and thus in contravention of the First Amendment. This is both its own violation and amplifies the fear a reasonable person would experience under the cruel and unusual punishment analysis. How can one ever be safe if he is in danger for the efforts to expose the wrongdoing of the governmental institution to which his protection is entrusted? Who can such a person turn to for protection? Petitioning this court is the only viable option under such circumstances, and this court's inherent authority empowers it to provide a remedy. The Supreme Court has made clear that in addition to the authority granted by the Supplemental Jurisdiction Statute 28 USC 1367, federal courts retain, by virtue of their inherent authority, to protect their judgments, limited authority to address matters related but tangible to cases within their jurisdiction. Nicholas versus Longo case law, citing Peacock versus Thomas case law. Stopping cruel and unusual punishment falls within the court's jurisdiction. So too does ensuring that a defendant is not subject to unconstitutional conditions while serving his sentence. Certainly, preventing the government from converting a defendant's custodial sentence into a death sentence falls within the court's inherent authority. Mr. Kelly is not safe in federal custody. Any continued incarceration while Mr. Kelly is under threat would constitute cruel and unusual punishment. Ordinary channels for redressing grievances are inadequate because those in charge of the prison grievance process are the ones who have initiated the threat against Mr. Kelly. Petitioning the court for a temporary furlough to home detention while the matter was investigated is the only viable option to protect Mr. Kelly. Such an order is necessary and appropriate. Given the threat against Mr. Kelly's life, see 28 USC 1651. This court is presented with a daunting task. The relief Mr. Kelly seeks is truly extraordinary, yet extraordinary circumstances call for extraordinary remedies. The circumstances set forth above are as extraordinary as they are terrifying. Incarcerated persons have no redress for protection outside of the guards that are hired to keep them safe. When the hierarchy under which those guards work has sanctioned and ordered an inmate's execution, then there's no safety for that inmate. The declaration of Mr. Stein shows that inmate murder at the behest of prison officials is neither new nor uncommon. It happens regularly and without consequence. Hence, the threat of Mr. Kelly's life continues each day that no action is taken. More AB members are accumulating at this facility. More than one has already been approached about carrying out his murder. One of them will surely do what Mr. Stein has not, thereby burying the truth about what happened in this case along with Robert Kelly. So hold on, because I don't want people to lose sight of something. No matter what was said, right? I want people to understand that Larry McGee helped kick this off. And why am I mentioning Larry McGee? Because Larry McGee has done something like this.
Hey, you can't cry. Punk motherfuckers always got something to say. Iron ass king. He all taste.
Okay, I did want to tell you, to switch the 90 days out, but when you do switch them out, I do have a lot of stuff to talk to you about, really good stuff. What do you mean? already talked about last week switching up days. We've been talking about that, so why are you saying wow?
Yeah, because you hung up on me and called right into the building, and they called me to go down before, I mean, to the floor.
No, I called.
Y'all don't know shit. Shut the fuck up. Now,
Hold on. I got something else.
Don't tell me on this motherfucking YouTube street, y'all know this nigga. Y'all don't know how long I hold shit that I know about a nigga. I just want to see how deep a nigga will cut you. You just allow motherfucker enough rope to hang their own self. And see, I'm not the coward that these motherfucking YouTubers want me to be. So that's why I had to dress him before he went in. Am I apologetic that it's the timing? I don't give a fuck about timing. That shit means nothing to me.
Right.
It means something to everybody that want to feel weak to a shit. But they need to look in their own goddamn family and see how many motherfuckers locked up in their motherfucking family and highlight them. Write them some motherfucking letters and feel this sorry for that people that's locked up that they ain't sent a money order in probably years. How about that? I don't feel sorry for what that grown ass man that crossed me and do shit behind my back.
Wow. Told you I got stuff for days. Let's finish this out. Let's finish this out because it's getting late. So let's finish this out. Let's finish this out. Mr. Kelly opened his motion with a question. Nope. Let's go here. One of them will surely do what Mr. Stein has not, thereby burying the truth about what happened in this case, along with Robert Kelly. Mr. Kelly opened his motion with a question from ancient Rome: who will guard the guardians? He now concludes with a modern and uniquely American answer. In this country, the court and the Constitution exists for the express purpose of guarding the guardians. The founding fathers put them there for moments just like these, when the powerful threaten the weak by way of corruption. In these moments, it is the role of the court to make sure that the systemic powers of the government have limits, while the unalienable rights of the individuals do not. Mr. Kelly's life is threatened by governmental powers that have now sought his literal destruction. The only chance he has at basic safety lies with this court, which stands outside and independent of the powers that threaten him. Wherefore, Mr. Kelly respectfully requests that this honorable court order a temporary furlough to home detention. But you want to know the funny part about this, y'all? I'm going to tell you the funny part about this. The government responded in less than 6 minutes. The government responded in less than 6 minutes. And this is why Robert Kelly being moved to another facility will not work. The government violates what the judges said. And the first thing they say is Robert Kelly is a serial sexual predator. He opens up with this. Robert Kelly is a serial sexual predator. For years, he abused girls as young as 14, 15, and 16 years old. He even documented his sexual abuse of children on film, creating child pornography, such that the abuse would live on in perpetuity. That abuse and harassment continues with defendant's latest filing. Now watch this. The judge even said that there was no child porn. So if the judge ruled that there's no child porn, why would the government say that there's child porn? The judge said that he wasn't a sexual predator. So why is the government saying he's a sexual predator? Why? Because they are sending out the signal to all the inmates that when this guy, Robert Sylvester Kelly, touches your facility, execute him. This is crazy. With that being said, I'm going to keep that there. Do I have anybody that want to call in? If you want to call in, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have y'all call in at 404-914-7986. Let me know how you feel. I want to hear from you. So go ahead and make that call. Go ahead and make that call. Call in. It is what it is. I want to hear what you think. Ashley Fine, what's up? You're live on the DanaJay show. How can I help you, caller?
Hello.
Yes, you're live on the
Audra.
DanaJay show. How can I help you, caller?
This is Audra. Can you hear me?
I can hear you well. How you doing?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm straight.
Say it again.
I'm straight.
What is it? Yeah. So you know I got a lot of questions, right? I've been sitting back listening for days and weeks, and you know, I got a lot of questions. For starters, for this interview, what you're doing tonight, the video that you're doing right now, you said that Tasha K gave what she had to Larry.
To Angelo.
How do you know
Larry.
that?
Say what?
No, you didn't say Angelo. You said Larry, but
did,
Angelo,
but I
whether
said
he got it
Angelo
or not,
and Larry.
he never said. But I never heard Angelo said that he gave anything to Larry. So you're saying that Tasha K gave.
I said to Angelo and Larry, and then I said it came from Tasha K. I did say that.
Okay, so did Tasha K hand it to Larry, or did she?
I don't know how she disseminated
go
to
through
him.
Angelo too.
I don't know how she disseminated
so
to
how
him.
do you know this? Did Larry tell you this?
No, Tasha K said it. Next.
No, Tasha K said she gave the information to the parent, to the father. That's it.
She also said she gave it to Larry too.
Okay. She said Larry, so she knows Larry McGee.
Right.
Okay. And she knew him at that time.
Right. Hold on for a second.
Okay.
You live on the DanaJay show. How can I help you, caller?
Hey, Dana.
What's going on next? What's going on?
I have to call and support you.
You already know.
Shout out to you. Shout out to your team that's been rocking with you from day one. The ones that never failed, the disappointed, but they stayed holding on.
Facts.
This is just unfortunate for our child. I'll continue to pray for his strength because I got him covered. I'm glad you're able to cover this, expose all that needs to come out. And I'm here to support you always. And it's a lot. It's a lot of information. Such a lot.
Right now. Right. It's definitely a lot, and I definitely appreciate you.
Always. You know, you got to get this information out here to the people, and I'm glad to see your platform is still up and running and getting it out there, pumping it out there. And I'm glad for all the people that in the chat that tuned in. I hope everybody can hit the like button, make sure y'all subscribe. You gave his platform, continue to support him by way of Cash App, Super Chat, or any means of support. Because information really has to get out here. And we fought on this front line.
Oh yeah.
For many years.
Oh yeah.
And for it to get to this point, it's just the corruption just don't stop. I mean, they already took his life by putting him and incarcerating him, and now they want to literally take it completely, like wipe him off the map. Like, come on now, you know, enough is enough. I mean, he has endured so much, and he's still standing strong. You know, that just goes to show you how much they fear him. And it's not so much what they fear of him, but they fear what's in him.
Right.
Because he that's in him is greater than his world. You know, I was the real one that came on here preaching the gospel, the word of God, not thinking it for clicks and views and things like that. Like I literally walked this walk. You know, it ain't for everybody. I know you were also a child of God. We see you at church every Sunday, beating on them drums. So we know you the real deal as well.
Of course.
But I'm just happy that you were able to out here, you know, and anything that I can do to continue to help expose it through your platform, you know, I got you know, so
Appreciate
I'm
it.
gonna have your back on you. He's a frontliner and he's still standing tall through it all. I'm behind the scenes now, but I'm here for you. And man, this is live.
Right. That's but that. So what you think about the whole? I mean, because when I first read it, I was like, oh my god, like this is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot. I mean, I'm hearing it again and again, and the more I hear it, yes, it's definitely wicked, and it just goes to show you how big the plot is and was from the start. The whole purpose was to get him in the system so they could execute him from within.
Yep.
Because he not live a violent life, so they could never take him out in the street because he wasn't a street dude. You know, he rapped. I mean, he sung R&B, so he wasn't with the rap crew and the stuff that they were out there doing. He was R&B. He sung for love. You know, he was all about love. He was a real representation of love. And to see me come to this, man, whew, I'm almost like really lost for words. But then it's like I'm not even surprised because all the stuff that they were doing to convict him and the lies that were exposed, my platform, your platform, other platforms. I mean, it was real out here. And now all else fails. This is what this comes down to. It boils down to take him out. And they will go and it just goes to show you how corrupt the system is, government is, you know, and I may not be a fan of Trump, but this is the right time for him to go ahead and pardon our kids.
Yep.
You know, if the system won't do it, I'm hopeful that he will do it because he's pardoning a lot of people, and I feel R. Kelly is deserving of his pardon, full pardon, and release him at once so he can salvage the rest of his life what God has for him. And that's just my thoughts on that. Any other questions you may have?
Nah, pretty much. Oh, everybody said, where you been? And when can we expect the return of Hollywood next?
I say stay tuned. She's definitely coming back stronger and better and wiser and ready to hit the ground running. I just have to continue to do some things that I've been doing, work, life. I'll be graduating from San Francisco State next month with a degree.
Congratulations.
To finalizing that. And then once I get some airtime, I definitely will be back. And I miss everybody. I love you all. Y'all keep supporting the platform. Make sure y'all subscribe because I will be back. I'm hopeful that it'll happen this year. But if not, just continue to, watch the platform. And I'll be back soon. I miss you guys so much. I really miss you in the commentary of just covering stuff and exposing things as we need to be and getting the information out here to the people.
So where can they find you at?
I'm still in Hollywood, Hollywood Team Next, as well as Pieces of the Puzzle. I figured out a way I can merge together so I can stream from all platforms. So I'm supposed to come, I'll be watching. I'm always tuned in. But for me to get back on my platform, just stay tuned and make sure y'all subscribe. Make sure y'all hit that bell notification. It's like, oh, if you don't want to miss your girl, well, I do come back. You know what I'm saying? Because it's always real in the field. And shout out to everybody in the chat. Much love to all y'all.
Facts. Well, we can't wait to see you get back, and I I got to get you back over here because I want to get your opinion about the Diddy situation. So I got to get you back over here so we can talk about the Diddy situation.
Absolutely. I'll be a guest for you, no problem. And free R. Kelly is always what I'm yelling.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you for calling in. All right. Thank you so much.
Shout out to you. Thank you for everything.
All right. Audrey.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Next question.
Yeah. Okay. So you're saying that Larry didn't have this information himself. So in this,
But that's not what I said.
Right.
But I said it was given to him.
You said Tasha K gave it to him.
Right.
When I have said that BOP Officer A never existed, BOP Officer A is Larry McGee. Y'all can't put 2 and 2 together and figure that out? I mean, come on, you just read the paperwork. Y'all been following this case for 6-7 years.
The BOP Officer A is Tawana Ingram.
They can put up a black face all they want. They could do that. But anyone that works in a system, in a government system, or have worked for a government system or any system, banking, whatnot, anything with high security, and you're telling me you got emails, you got phone calls, and you got phone calls between attorney and client. Those phone calls are not even recorded. So just like in this paperwork you just read, where they had the Indian guy, R. Kelly Selly, go in, get his documents while he be on the visit. They take his documents to a bailiff or to a CO, whoever. They go make copies of it. The guy put it back in there. Okay, that's hard copies. Okay, so you got to go through security, IT, to pull anything else off of the system. You got to go through security checks and balances. So she wouldn't even have had the clearance to wonder, whoever her name is, she wouldn't even have had the clearance to print any of that off of her computer or to even send the email from her work email. That's what I know.
Pause. It wasn't sent from a work email.
Do know
wait a minute.
Also, that Larry is an informant.
Wait. It wasn't sent from her work email. It was sent from her personal email.
But she had to get it off the work computer, Dana.
Facts.
See, that's what I'm saying. Common sense.
Facts.
It's not clicking, or y'all trying to hide it.
So I
you trying to hide it?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Don't play with me, Audrey.
You're not putting 2 and 2 together. And
don't play with
me. You're saying that she gave Larry that information. 10, you said that Tasha K gave Larry 4, that information.
3, 2, 1. Okay. So go ahead and finish.
It's too tough. It's too tough for you.
No, never.
Because you know where I'm going with it next, right?
Let's go.
Okay. So you fed this information about Larry, all of this that they just put in this report to his attorneys. You and Spit and Fire, she said in her live, she's want all the credit. She wants all the credit, right?
I don't know
but
nothing.
She did not.
I don't know nothing about Spit and Fire. I don't know what she said. I don't know none of that.
I'm letting you know. But she did not tell them about infamous Sylvia's involvement since 2018. July or August 2018. You remember the live where she said she met Demetrius Smith in July or August 2018.
So am I supposed to talk about that right now?
That's important. That's pertinent.
Fuck no, you ain't. Fuck no, you ain't gonna fuck up my case.
Corruption. Okay.
You know I got a case going on. And you know I got a case going on, so you know I can't talk about that.
That ain't got nothing to do with Sylvia.
Bullshit.
And y'all been in the same vicinity within 30 feet of each other.
All right, watch
on
this.
TV.
Watch this. Let's go to this point. We have not been in the same vicinity of each other, first of all. Second of all,
YouTubers have been filming you guys in New York.
No, wait a minute. I was not around that lady.
Y'all was sitting on that same brick bench.
No, we wasn't.
Same brick bench outside the courthouse.
No, we wasn't. Right. Try that fucking lie somewhere else.
You want the YouTuber's name.
Next thing is,
and he on the video talking about y'all too.
He ain't talking about me.
Yeah, people know about your cases.
He ain't talking about me.
And the guy was even saying, he was saying, people up here acting like they up here interested in the case. They trying to figure out what y'all was even there for.
So can I ask you a question? Cause I got some questions, but I got some questions that I just been holding. Where'd you come from?
What do you mean? Where do I come from?
Yeah. Oh, you can't comprehend the question?
Okay, Dana. I am a YouTube watcher.
Okay.
I subscribe to your channel with the bell icon.
Right. So where do you come from? Where? That's
it. And matter of fact, you put up my mugshot, so you know my little criminal history, right? You know my record, right? You pulled it. And on top of that, y'all know how to pull credit reports.
I pulled it.
Everything else. No, Larry did, and he gave it to you, but that was in 2023. So you was in contact with him in 2023.
Excuse me.
He said it. He said he gave my information out.
Larry ain't never give me shit about
you. You were the first.
If you want to know where I got it from,
put me up on your screen.
If you want to know where I got it from, I got it from the nigga who channeled that you be on a lot. Don't play with me.
Oh,
who do you be on?
Okay, so that's a secret too. So
no, it's not.
Secret. You know all the ins and outs of the R. Kelly case, but all this time,
so you mad?
Y'all didn't uncover nothing. Y'all didn't tell him nothing. Y'all didn't.
You sure?
I know for sure.
You know for sure.
Because it wouldn't have taken this long for them to get with the information they got now.
You sure?
I'm positive on that.
Are you gonna put some money in?
And he has never called into your channel. I'll bet my next paycheck on that.
So we need to. So check this. Why do Robert need to call in my channel?
No, but that's your godfather, right?
So why you need to call in my channel?
Mentee, you're the mentee. Then you say he raised you, but you say you went to 4 Diddy parties.
And
I asked you for proof that you went to 4
what do you mean?
Diddy parties.
Who the fuck are you to ask me for anything?
Because you claimed that you were for R. Kelly,
okay.
But you introduced infamous Sylvia and Jasmine and the other girl that was there who I don't know who she is because y'all won't talk about her. And you were in the Airbnb with Sylvia, but you claim you had your own Airbnb.
You're live on are you live on the DanaJay show? How can I help you, caller?
Put me on the phone with her. let me say something.
Hold on. There you go, G.
Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. What's so funny?
You talking about Robert getting called in to the show. Well, that was on a fake call.
Wait, who is this?
Hello?
Is somebody else on the line?
Hello now.
Is this somebody else on the line? So I can hear 2 voices?
Listen. You talking all that bullshit.
Who is this talking?
And second of all,
who is this talking? That's Dana. And then someone is talking. Who are you?
Fake voices of Robert. You know that, right?
Okay, that has nothing to do with anything.
No. You said
no. Because if you call him, you're gonna have him call
Okay, what about those people that called and had fake voices?
The new channel that the girls just came out with, the 2 Caucasian women just came out with. They only got 1,000 subscribers when the hotel called them.
Then those people
that don't make what you're saying has no bearing. That has no bearing. What you're trying, whoever you are,
hey, one pound. Can you come get your little sister?
All down on just one person, but the old call consists of all of you.
Oh boy, she defending Larry now. What the fuck?
No, old call consists of DanaJay. Larry McGee.
All those people have fake voices. They have fake voices of R. Kelly.
So what they got to do with the conversation now? What they got to do with the conversation now?
So you believe all of them Robert called into those people's families?
What does that have to do with the conversation now?
You said, how come Robert ain't called in to David's channel?
Mentioning that you're trying to skirt all around that. The relevance of me mentioning him calling in, you're trying to skirt all around that.
Are you upset because
the relevance of me mentioning him not calling into Dana J show?
Are you upset?
You're trying to skirt all around that.
You calling in, ain't you?
Explain how infamous Sylvia was in Chicago and Atlanta and all
don't give a damn about that damn lady. She should have her ass where she is. Why are you worried about her? That lady's a damn witch. Her man is a witch. All the motherfuckers are a witch. Don't
Who is this? Who are you? What's your name?
You should never.
Who is this?
Go with that bullshit you talking.
That's very relevant because they introduced her to a federal government. He introduced her to R. Kelly.
Ain't nobody be out there
Dana J acts like a federal government informant. Very relevant.
Listen.
I see you, Dana.
You upset because he was out there at the damn
No, I'm trying to give him a chance to come clean, to open up.
He done kept clean. He came clean for 5.5 years.
No, he
Where
hasn't.
you been at?
He been saying that R. Kelly been with minors and that he married Aaliyah.
Who said that?
You said that, Dana.
Bitch, you're a lie. You're a fucking lie. Don't lie on me.
No shit like that.
You know what?
You know what?
Prove it.
Oh, you know what?
Prove
You
it.
stupid, mental retarded bitch. Take your ass back to JoJo and Holly. I meant JoJo and Witchwicon channel. Don't bring your ass back over here. You barred for life.
Ooh.
Don't play with me. I hate stupid retarded people. Fuck, I had
for medications.
First, you sit up there and lie, talking about Big Vi gave my information out. Now there's Dana saying R. Kelly slept with minors.
You ain't never.
Man, take your ass back over to One Papoose and JoJo channel. Keep your ass over there with the slow delusional motherfuckers.
Oh,
the fuck?
God. And you weren't even talking about Voodoo Lady. Why the hell is you?
Listen, I've been watching the whole thing. JoJo and Pat been pumping her up, talking about, oh, we gonna turn her against Dana. Oh, you don't gotta turn her against me.
I know.
You don't gotta turn her
Lock
against
all
me.
their asses up. Lock Pap up. Lock all that her ass too for being ignorant. Her charge is gonna be ignorance. Just crazy as hell, man.
She sat up there and lied, talking about, he said R. Kelly married Aaliyah. I never said that.
I
never.
She get you confused because her electricity up in her brain ain't connected right. That's what.
Nah, boys. Now, but see, the thing is, her Dexedrine spatula, she ain't get her medicine right. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
and then she wonder why. And then she wonder why everybody put her off her page because she started doing shit. And she went over to V. Lenore talking about, you an informant. And V. Lenore said, hold on, bitch. What? Yo. Like, yo, you can't go places. Yo, I'm over there defending this girl, bro.
Oh, man.
Hold on. I'm gonna take this call. I'm gonna call you back.
Yep.
You're live on the Dana J show. How can I help you, caller? Hey, what it is?
Man, I was wondering when you was gonna lose it.
Yo, I was trying not to. Like Prima. Prima, I was trying not to. That bitch is really retarded, bro. So I get the game plan.
So crazy.
So I get the
so crazy.
So the game plan is whoever gives them the most attention, that's who they rock with and try to turn on. I'm the wrong one because I will read that motherfucker to filth. I'm telling you, I will read her ass to filth.
This is crazy.
So now when I say R. Kelly slept with minors.
That's what I be saying. They just sit here and go from platform to platform, mixing what this person said, what that person said, then try to come at you like you said the shit. Hold the fuck up. No.
Then she trying to get me to talk about somebody knowing I got a case with that person. Man, you got me fucked up.
you know, just fly above the turbulence, you know, fly above. Anywho, because I ain't finna waste none of my energy or breath on that. I just basically came up here just to put my 2 cents in on, you know, I didn't want to put it in my video because you know how some people will react and respond to it, but you know, I always have a realistic approach in what I see. So in regards to the information that came out now about the emergency release, now, as you mentioned, you know, it still could be a risk with him being moved to a different facility, but we know how the government play these games. They don't sit here and be like, okay, well, we could just put him in PC. He can be protected then.
Right.
They not going to just try to let him out just because of this threat, you know, because you still have to, again, prove his innocence when it comes to these charges. And that's why I get frustrated when I be talking to people like that girl that just got out here. You keep wanting to rehash shit that we can't specifically prove, that was the Fed's fucking jobs to prove, and keep going around in circles. Ain't nobody got time for this shit. Get your motherfucking channel together and you point out all that motherfucking shit. I keep saying the same shit. You keep going to the same fucking channels trying to rehash and ask questions about the same motherfucking shit.
You know what?
Shit don't make no sense.
You know what? I'm about to really make her feel good, okay? Because my thing is this. And my thing is this. I'm going to keep it a buck. For her to sit back and say that I said R. Kelly married Aaliyah, you know, I gave her 2 chances already, right? And this is the last chance. I'm not doing it no more. So my thing is, for her to come up and play with me like this, nah, it's about to get ugly. And see,
absolutely.
And she needs to take that shit back to where she came from.
Because again, what they do is they get on her and they still go right back to the propaganda that Larry came on her dispersing. So I'm trying to figure out why in the fuck you think everybody else owe y'all explanations to the same shit everybody else ain't playing out, and only some of us chose to speak on.
That part.
Like you said earlier, when it came to the protests and shit, I wasn't trying to be funny, but obviously I feel like I'm a boomerang. Every time I speak on the topic at hand, it's all these motherfuckers popping out the woodworks with their opinions and shit, when they could just start their own channel and run with that.
And my question
Instead of keep getting on people's platforms playing in their face like they ain't gonna cuss them out, and then when you cuss their ass out, they go on the next person's platform. He did this and this. I don't give a fuck. Stay your ass the fuck on.
My question is this: if you feel like whatever going on, right? If you feel like the walls are, if you feel like whatever's going on, don't come to me with your burdens, because that's all you're going to do is just make me react. And I'm not even trying to react. But it was just too much, because
look at the point she's trying to make. She's trying to force you to come out here and say, they already say you a liar, right? And she wants you to come out here and say, well, common sense is Larry is Agent such. Ain't nobody got time for that. Either the government gonna prove who this officer A is, or they gonna have a justification for what the fuck happened.
And see, and the thing is I don't like Larry, but I'm not gonna lie on him. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna lie on him.
Right.
And I don't even like the little ugly motherfucker. But I'm not gonna lie on him. So whatever she want me to do, whatever her whole idea is, I'm not going with that. I'm going with what I know. And what I know,
right,
is more than what most of these motherfuckers know on the internet backwards. I can be asleep and forget half the shit that what these motherfuckers even learn. Now the whole shit about spitting fire, I don't know what her beef is and with spitting fire, but I don't got no beef with spitting fire. And I'm gonna be honest with you, she better be glad, and she better be glad spitting fire is in spitting fire mode, and because RJ Jackson would have cussed her ass out. So So I just look at it like, yo, don't come to me with that shit, man. Seriously.
See, that's what's crazy about the people who weren't here from the beginning. In the beginning, we all had our own little niche. You know, certain people did the news, certain people did this. I was more into the propaganda that led up into the case. Like, everybody had their own niche. It wasn't this competitive bullshit and money grab shit that it turned into. That's why a lot of people don't want to speak on this shit, because even as of right now, you could get all the momentum talking about what's going on in R. Kelly case, but what they still want to focus on, bullshit.
Right. Right, and see, and her thing is, I peeped that when she jumped up there talking about, I was spitting fire, said, this, man, you trying to get beefs going on. No, I'm not doing that shit. I'm not beefing with nobody. I'm not going back and forth with nobody. It is what the fuck it is. And it ain't what the fuck it ain't. At the end of the day, me going back and forth for what? You know what I mean?
Like, because as they keep asking all these questions, whose idea was it to bring these stupid ass debates to YouTube?
That was a collective. That was a collective.
So it's funny that it was cool, so it's cool that everybody could do that little debate shit and deal with the so-called ops. But then when everybody started falling out, everybody just supposed to sit here and keep playing this pick a side game. Bitch, grow the fuck up.
That part. And see, and then she talking about, what about that lady? Man, listen. You ain't gonna get me talking about that lady, and then the lady people go and run and tell the prosecutor and the defense what the fuck going on. Nah, man, you ain't gonna have me fuck up my case.
All right.
The fuck, I got a right to protect my case, and I got a right to protect my peace. And if you don't like it, so bad, get the fuck on. Fuck you.
If they got a problem with you speaking on it, then why is everybody else putting their 2 cents in on it? Like, let it play out in court. If everybody's so confident.
That part. That's why I just be like, man, I just be sitting back just like, shh. It's crazy, yo, because you give people a rope, and you and that's all you do is you be chilling. But then it's like they get the batteries put in their back by other content creators, and they think that they can attack you. Or you got to realize I'm the original at that shit.
Right.
I will dog walk your ass for the rest of this month, and won't give a fuck how you feel.
I mean, you gotta think about it logically, and that's why I try not to personalize it, because when you have the top voices in whatever sector, whatever the shit you want to call it, when you got the top people who are more vocal than others, of course you're gonna have people trying to jump in their algorithms by always mentioning them and shit like that, and that's cool. But like I said, some of the shit that happened in R. Kelly cases went too fucking far. All these games these people were playing back and forth don't make no sense. And for the people to be sending messages to me talking about what I should do and could do, you can go to hell with this shit. Because like I said, I don't give a fuck about none of these people doing. Personally, all I did was point out what was going on that I felt affected this man's case. And people can take this shit how they want to take it.
Man. Yo, tonight showed me one more
thing. Anywho, that's all I wanted. I'm gonna jump back. I'm gonna jump back in the chat because I don't want to be too winded. Somebody else probably trying to call.
Okay. All right, sis.
All right. All
right, Laya. Oh, man. Lord have mercy. Lord, I hate acting like a nigga. I really do. Now I know what Amon Wiggins was going through in New York. I hate acting like a nigga, man. Jesus Christ. Do anybody else want to call in? Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Somebody just dropped a bomb shot. See. What the hell? What the? Yo, hold on. Oh. Oh, okay. Okay. I know what this is. Okay. Woo. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. You that just text me and sent me this picture. When I get off live, I need you to call me on this number. We need to talk. Ooh. 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 This is bad, man. Like, oh my God. Yo, you gotta watch who you. Ooh. You gotta watch who you dealing with, man. This is crazy. This is really crazy. Like, ooh. Wow. All right, look him up out here, man. Remember, you don't have to be great to get started, but you have to get started to be great. Be someone important, be yourself. Remember, elephants don't swat flies, and jets fly over turbulence. With that being said, thank y'all for joining me. DanaJay gone. Peace.
bitches in the rumors, I'm finna lay it to rest. I ain't never been extorted, and I ain't never been a pussy. They thought I was Patrick Mahomes, I passed them niggas without even looking. My crib on 5 acres, Super Bowl ring like a now later. Pop a tab, I'ma have a skyscraper, make her come on a dick like a vibrator. At this point, ain't no competition, something wrong with their comprehension. What goes around come back around. I can't fuck with groupie bitches, I'm too superstitious. Real nigga dilemma, these little niggas need parental. I was in back of the line too long, I walked to the front and skipped them. I don't ask for permission, nigga. If I want it, I'm coming to get it, nigga. Make them stand down like a midget, nigga. If you want to get rich, you should listen, nigga. I came home and charged 25 a show. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, diamond in the dirt. Now I'm up under a scope. Now they can see all my clarity. Made a couple good investments. Bought 1,000 pounds, made it disappear. Made 3.9 million fresh out to sell less than a year. Yeah.